Here we go. There we go. Sorry, it wasn't hooked up to the Fi-Fi. I knew there was going to be a technical difficulty today. Hello, welcome to the Club Sesh. We have Bon Bon in her spot. She knows her mark. She's a pro. And I'm live on Instagram right now too, because I'm just trying to get people to come on over to YouTube because that's where I'm really live. And today we are going to be talking about a very, very, very dirty topic. And that's cool. We like to get a little dirty sometimes. We're talking terroir. We're talking microbes. We're talking the roots of flavor. This is the Club Sesh. Light up. Let's go. As always, we have our super chat board. So if you want to send me a super chat, please do. And let me double check on my, speaking of chats, where is my chat? There it is. Hi, Fraggle Rock. Hi, Chris Core. Hi, Madam Dram. Happy 420. Hi, Hookstergram. Harry Lee. Sir Stabulous has arrived. Hello. I am smoking this Rosin Tech Rolex OG joint. Hash. There we go. Cute, right? Coming from Instagram, new sub. Welcome, Rick. This is the Club Sesh, the live stream. Can we talk about my Scary Spice outfit? It is very Scary Spice, isn't it? I was not a Scary Spice. I was always Posh or I was Ginger Spice. So today on the Club Sesh, yeah, we're talking about dirt. I'm getting ready to grow, if you can believe it. Hi, Bright Hay Beats. I'm getting ready to grow with ILGM. And so I figured let's do some research together because I don't know what I'm doing. And look into different types of soil, look into what else do we want? We're going to look into microbes, living soil, Cocoa Puffs, light it up. Okay. And so that's going to be the show. Also, I want to get a sweet treat. Have you guys been watching that guy? I'm live on Instagram right now too. It's like we're double living right now. That's okay. We can do that. You guys should come on over to YouTube is what I think you all need to do. I'm going to hang up here and I'm going to be on YouTube hanging out with my crew because this is where the Club Sesh happens. Although I will say the lighting on Instagram does look very good. I love ILGM. Oh, Madam Dram, I'm going to get some seeds sent to you. So if there's anything in particular, since you're an edibles producer and I told them that you cultivate and they said that they would send you some seeds. So there you go. If you're a part of my edibles club, there's always perks to being a part of the club. Tommy's here from Instagram. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Petra. Bishopa is here. Patricia. How's it going? We're dishing it out. We are dishing out the dirt. Okay, so I'm trying to remember where we are. Okay, so today is fun. I'm excited. I haven't really looked into this topic too much. There's a lot to know about it, right? It's a really hot topic. Female farmer here, Ocean Mountain Bliss. Come hang out on YouTube and can't say enough about living soil being the best. Please come to YouTube and tell us all about it. We love to hear about it in the chat there. I'm also going to start streaming on Twitch, which will be fun. I haven't done that before, but we're going to figure it all out. Listen, you got to be tech savvy. This is the day and age we're in. Petra says it's raining there. That sounds, Patricia, we've done pizzelle. We did pizzelle when we did, I did Choco Tacos. Those were good. I would do those again. Maybe not so soon. We didn't do them that long ago, but I love Choco Tacos, but pizzelle. Yeah, I love to make them. I was thinking of doing fudge this weekend because one, Madame Dram requested it, and then also because it's one of the recipes that has some changes from the book. So sue me. It'll still work as written if you're really fucking good at making candy. But there's easier ways to do it. And so I've updated that recipe. You're just learning to grow. Tommy, I am just learning to grow. I'm just learning how to grow. Okay. Johnny Tanabe, so I'm talking to Johnny Tanabe on Instagram. I have a Discord. It is just exclusive for my Patreon, the Edibles Club. So if you want to be a part of my Discord, it is very cool. We have different channels where we share like dabs on dabs, like whatever we're smoking, questions, it's basically, it's where the sesh keeps rolling. So, does THC survive high temp cooking like in a pizza oven? Ben, it really depends on where it is in the pizza oven, right? So if you put it like we did that, also like pizza doesn't go into a pizza oven that long. So pizza oven's really hot. It's like 500 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's not making that pizza 500 degrees Fahrenheit because then the pizza would be burnt. And so you just put it in really quickly. And if it's in the dough, is it going to burn off? No. If I just chuck like flour on top of the pizza and put it in, you'll probably scorch the top a little bit. You might get some CBN on the buds. If it's in sauce, like Bon Appetit, we put a bunch of sauce in the sauce. Bad idea. Not a bad idea, just bad that the amount of sauce that we put in the sauce. I tell this story in my cookbook when I talk about decarboxylation, because we didn't decarb it, right? We just threw it in there. Sauce needs to be decarbed. Certain concentrates need to be decarbed before you can cook with them. But we put it into the pizza sauce and then we put it into the pizza oven, which is really hot, right? And it decarbed a good amount of that sauce. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm having a slice of this pizza. And I was like, I just ate, like we had cannoli, we had other things. I was like, I'm not eating this pizza. I can smell not just the terps from the sauce, just like knew it was going to be potent. And everyone got really, really fucked up on that pizza. So it will like heat it up and decarb it. Will it degrade it? It's not like it disappears. I think people think if you heat up RS70 UGHC, thank you so much. I'm going to put you up on the board. I just got a super chat over here on YouTube. Hello from Boca Raton. Hello, come hang out with me on YouTube. That's where the real fun is happening. Okay, so I got all of these new chalk, right? I got a rainbow chalk because I'm really into my chalkboard. I have a chalkboard. And I put people's name on the board when they send me a super chat. That's part of the show. What color should we do? RS70. I've got all these cool colors. I feel like let's try the purple. but I will say they don't write as clearly as my old chalk. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I'm going to have to like do that darker because it's not. Hi, Amy Cardoza. Hi, Ben. Just want to make sure you can see it. All right. So send a super chat. We love it. It's not as good as the old one. It's not, Eddie. Welcome to the sesh. It's not as good as the old one. You know what? I think I need a boop. Let me drink some water. If you're just getting to my Instagram live stream, I'm live on Instagram right now. I should just let this go live until they kick me off. I am live on YouTube right now. And this is where the real fun happens. I go live every Wednesday and Saturday. I've seen you play in Thailand, and it's very close to my country. Oh, yes. The Thailand show was a lot of fun. I wish I could do more of that show. Come to YouTube at Vanessa Marigold. That's where the fun is really happening. I'm going to boop Sir Stabulus. I'm booping. It's time to boop, and it's also time to talk about sweet treats. It's time to talk about sweet treats. Okay. What am I booping? I'm booping this Tommy gun from Rosin Tech Labs. And I also got the Switch too. Hi, Water Tiger. Hi, Last Minute Leo. This is not the Switch 2. This is the Focus V. Focus V Carta Sport. And they are actually the same company as Rosin Tech. Please continue what you're saying about decarbing concentrates, about edibles. Thank you. Please come and join me on YouTube, Normonius, if you want me to keep talking about anything, because that's where this is all happening. I can talk about decarbing concentrates all day, and there's also a section in my cookbook about which concentrates need to be decarbed and a basic process for how to decarb them at home. Okay, so we're booping this Tommy gun. It's from Rosin Tech. I've been taking bigger boops. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been taking bigger boops, people. We've been booping bigger. Although I think we're going to turn this into 2 boops. Maybe this is a 2 boop situation. Although maybe it's a 1 boop situation. That's a big ass boop, Vanessa. Go big or go home. It's a big boop. It's a big ass boop. I don't like to leave any rosin. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. I can't show both of you. I can't show both of you at the same time, but here we go. Look at that big ass goober. Don't burn it, pen. Sometimes this pen, I need to charge it. Boop. But I don't realize it until after it's too late. Patreon notification. What's going on, Patreon? Eddie Moretti's on the board. Oh, we got a new patron, Jason Holmes. Are you watching right now, Jason? Is that why you became a member? One other, Jason Holmes joined 23 seconds ago as a quarter up. Welcome. I didn't have time to put you in the time to put you in the credits, but you'll be there next time. Okay, let me put Eddie Moretti on the board. Eddie, I feel like you need a blue. I'm going to try and go live on all the platforms. Oh no, I got rid of my live on Instagram because I clicked on my Patreon to see what happened, and I got a new member on Patreon is what happened. I should go live everywhere. I'm going to put Eddie on the board, then we're going to take a boot. I think the chalk just needed to be broken in. The blue is good. The blue we like. The blue is broken in. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we put Eddie Moretti's on the board. We got our boop. Okay, so the Carta, the Focus V, Carta Sport, you click 5 times. Click it 5 times. 1, 2, 3. Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Can I count? Can I count? Ryan Moltz made the switch from the gram. Welcome to the Club Sesh. See, Ryan Moltz is here from the gram, so I don't know why you guys aren't here on YouTube from the gram. Okay, we're gonna hit it. Then we hit it twice. And then you wait. Be patient. We got to take this big ass boop. Be patient, people. They say it's a virtue, supposedly. Oh, it's smoking. It didn't buzz yet, but sometimes I take it early. Oh, fuck. It's a real breathing exercise. Too big. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm drooling. Ugh. Give me a second. Oh my God. That was heavy. Ugh. Ugh. Oh my God. We're going to get to this sesh eventually, but I have to be in in a mindset. Bringlin, great technique. Was it? I don't know if I'm doing this right. What I try to do is not waste the dab. That's what my goal is when I dab, is like breathe in for as long as you can. Like, you know, what's it called? Like, just like fucking pranayama. Did I say it wrong? Pranayama breathing in yoga. Like, breathe in slowly. Breathe out. And then breathe in slowly until it does that little vibrate. But I like to double click after the first click because it's not enough. Ryan Moltz, I'm actually going to grow outside. I know. I'm going to get a bunch of seeds. So I can kind of do it. I can do a bunch of different ways. So we can play around. I really want to experiment. Also, I'm going to open something for you guys. I just need to get a little cutting apparatus. Thought I grabbed. If you guys were on YouTube, the people who are on Instagram, you could see my little dog. She's the best. She is the best. She's sleeping in her chair, and that's where the show is. I'm opening a box, and I'm cutting it on the floor because I don't want you guys to see. My address. All right, so we're going to unbox something. It's very exciting. Hi, Ohio Gamers Khalifa. Hi, Isidro. How much did you put into that device? Looks like you got a lot of hits out of it. Los Pixels, I showed the boop before I booped it. I don't know. It was, a good booger. Like if you really went into your nose and you were digging up in there, you reach the, anyway. Okay, so I got a package from Dr. Dabber. I'm trying it all. Someone was not happy with me. I won't say who, that I was using one rig, and I am going to try all the rigs because I don't give a fuck. I just want to smoke the concentrates. It's fun. It's something I just like, I would dab on Bong Appetit. Like they'd be like, hey, you want to take a dab? Like, yeah, I'll take a dab. But it wasn't like something I did at home. And I think the rigs, I feel like the rigs really make it so much more approachable. Like these electric, the Focus V, the Puffco, the Dr. Dabber, which I'm going to open. They all kind of come with these little like portable, cute little bags. Anyway, okay, so I got a little cute little bag from Dr. Dabber. Dr. Dabber. Cute little bag. Should I check if there's something in it? Probably. I feel like it's a strap. Oh, it's got like little compartments. And then, yes, it's a strap. Okay. And then I have used one of these before. Oh my God. I can't even get it out of the frickin' box. Okay, so here's this Dr. Dabber, right? Now this definitely is feeling much bigger than other dab rigs that I've been using. And so there's different kinds. This is electric, and then and there's different ways that they do it, right? So this emulates a real quartz banger experience. So my friend at Rosin Tech was oops. There was nothing in there. My friend at Rosin Tech was explaining this to me. Basically, the when I hit this or the Puffco, it stays at that temperature the entire hit. It'll stay at. I hit it low always, low temp dab, but it'll stay that temp 490 degrees Fahrenheit the entire time that it's in that mode, right? It's on. This cools down. So it cools down like as it'll heat up to that temperature and then slowly will cool down to like a quartz, like a real dab rig, So hi Chicano Juarez. ADHD, cheers. Oh no, you're not the first person to tell me I have ADHD. Listen, I got a lot of things going on. I don't think it's necessarily me. I think it's the fact that I have like OBS and chat over here and I'm live on Instagram, and I'm also just like really fucking high. So, cause I just took a massive dab and now there's a fly. So, my crochet bags are cooler. They are so cool. I have the Puffco in one of your crochet bags, Petra. Don't you worry. They are very well loved in my house. Okay, so we're talking about soil today. I got distracted. Although Instagram, I'm going to have to go because I need a sweet treat, basically. I need to order a sweet treat, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you want to keep hanging out with me right now, come on over to YouTube. Same handle, Vanessa Marigold. There's a lot of you here right now, so I feel like a lot of you are coming from Instagram. I might come live here later. But I want to order my sweet treat. So if you want to see me order a sweet treat and eat it and talk about soil and see my cute ass little dog, I'll give you a taste of Bonbon. Look at her. Look at that cute ass dog. That's my dog. Okay. She's the best. All right. I put on a good show. I'm live for a few hours. Hang out with me. Let's learn about the soil. Okay. Time to go. All right. Ended the YouTube live. I always discard them. Never keep them. If you're there, you're there. If you're not, too bad. If you're here though, you're here. And this this stays on YouTube. I need a sweet treat. I need a sweet treat. Ooh, 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 ooh. What should we order? And I was like, maybe I need a different app because we need to order something different. I was trying to find a different sweet treat. I did a pretty hard workout. What's the sweet treat? I don't know what we should do. Do you guys, you thinking cookies? I did find a good cookie spot. There's like a good kind of bakery spot, pastry place, that I was looking at, or a donut place that looked interesting, promising. This is before we dive in. If you've never been here before, this Club Sesh, we fucking sesh, okay? So go grab your bong, go grab your rolling tray, whatever it is you're smoking out of. We're going to learn about the soil. I'm going to eat a sweet treat. We're going to order it. And we're going to get highly educated. That's what I do. That's what I do on Wednesdays. And if you send a super chat, your name gets written in a dying language that the children cannot read. So there you go. I will do it in cursive unless your name is like this and there's numbers in it. And then it's hard for me to do it in cursive. So I'll do it in capitals. But otherwise, it'll be in cursive. Okay, let's get this. Stop distracting me. I need a sweet treat. And I got rid of Uber Eats because I got mad at them about something. But it might be time to go back to see if they have different sweet treats than DoorDash. Okay. Cursive. Yes. Ohio Gamers, Khalifa. Yes. Oh, and I need to update my DoorDash as well. I know the apps aren't great, but number cursive is truly dead. I just like, oh, do you see her? Isn't she the most ridiculous? I don't know what to do about it. It drives me insane all day. I just want to squish her little face and I have to stop myself, because you can't squish their little faces. That wouldn't feel good. Okay, let's look at what our options are here. We need to be efficient. Dessert. I don't want to even mess with dinner. I just want something sweet. I know I'll regret it later and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be talked out of it. I just want us all to make a decision. Dirt, coconut husk, gypsum. Yeah, we're going to talk about all of that. I want to hear, you know what, maybe I should put something in the chat. I want to know you guys actually. Okay, I'm starting a poll. Oh, let me make sure I'm on the live chat, not the top chat. Also, I wanted to put this in here. If you haven't joined yet, I highly recommend it. It's my club. It's, it's where you can hang out and ask questions. And did that work? Yes. And let me pin this. Damn it, Fly. I'm going to get you later. Don't you even think about it. I swear. Okay. So we put that there. Okay. So over 50% of you, over half of you grow at home. That's really cool. I used to grow, says Kathleen. What happened? Get some churros. I don't know how to grow. Everything dies on me. Okay, well, we're going to do this together, friends. We're going to do it together. Together forever, like I'm on a fruit sugar only diet right now. If I weren't, brownie with strawberry ice cream. CJ, listen. Should I be eating whatever the hell it is that I'm going to eat? Probably not. But I just really don't care. I'll get there one day. One day I'm going to decide, like what is best for my body is zero sugar. But I just fucking love it. I just love a little sweet treat. And I worked out, and I know that doesn't compensate for sugar. It doesn't matter if you work out, but let me have a little sweet treat. Sweet side. What is this? What are these? Churro box. Hey, look it. Didn't you say to get a churro? Nutella. Empanada. What? No. Okay, so this is interesting. I could get churros. Let me see what my churro options. I didn't even think about getting churros, and that's kind of irresponsible of me. There might be better churro options, though, than that one. Baklava. I want to learn to grow for sure, says Chris Core. Okay, well, we can get you some seeds, too. Gluten-free chocolate cupcakes. I'm not doing gluten-free. Okay, so we have El Munchies, mini churros, monster tacos, Churro Loco, Churro Loco plain, churros sundae. What the fuck? Should I get Churro Loco? Right? I feel like if you're going to do it, that feels strawberry churros with Nutella. Whoa. Chick next door. Box of churros. Churro Hub Cafe. Shit, man. I didn't realize there were so many churro options. This is really, you guys, this is too many churros. I don't know which one's the best. This Churro Loco, seems like it's what they do. And they seem like legit, Supreme churro sundae. I don't think I need to do all that. Churro ice cream sandwich. Whoa. Ice cream cones. Plain churros. They just got plain churros. I feel like we're doing it. We're fucking doing churros, right? And we're going to choose your dipping sauce. Whoa. You guys, they have so many. This is insane. What? There's a lot of options here, okay? Loco es bueno. Horchata. Crazy little churro. Yes, I know what it says. I do speak a little teeny bit of Spanish. Okay, dipping sauce. I kind of want it on the side. So I'm going to get Nutella. I'm going to get dulce de leche to dip. That's going in the cart. They also have get out of here. They have filled churros. They have Oreo filled churros, and they're like churros that are Oreos with, that's too much for me. Marzipan. I'm going to say that's marzipan. Filled churros. Whoa. Churro Loco plain. Sweet, crispy fried dough pastry. Wait, well, I got to try. What the fuck is a Churro Loco? Okay, we're going to get Churro Loco. Your choice of up to 2 drizzles and 2 toppings. Well, we got to do this. We're going big, or we're going fucking home. What drizzle are we going to do? We're going to do, what drizz? Hot fudge? I guess. Hot fudge with raspberry. And toppings, I don't know what marzipan crumbs are, but I'm going to get marzipan crumbs. And wow, they have M&Ms, sprinkles, Fruity Pebbles, peanuts, bananas, strawberries. Is raspberry? Maybe I don't want the raspberry. That feels a lot. Hot fudge. But that. And then I feel like I should have gotten... It's going to be the same, isn't it? I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Rain here. How about you? Marzipan. That's what I think it means too. Does this place only sell churros? Yes, Liberty Genetics. This is a churro place. So I feel like that's the place to go for churros. This is what they do. We're going to do a hot fudge drizzle. Marzipan crumbs. Love it. With marzipan. Do we want to be that classy? Or do we want to be a dirty little... It is the dirty show. So maybe we shouldn't we're not going to be classy. We're going to be dirty. Let's do fucking M&Ms and let's do Reese's. I can only choose one topping. Hot fudge, Reese's. Yeah, let's leave it at that. And then, oh no. Not right now. Plain Churro Loco. Do I need anything else? I have milk. That's enough. We're not doing anything else. It's too much. It's too much otherwise. Oh wait, no, they have other things. They have hot Cheetos. Oh shit. No, we're not doing it. I just want churros. This is going to take a while, so that's fine because we got to get into this dirt. Give them a 25% tip. Double click. Okay, we did it, everyone. I'm glad we did that together. You'll have to stay tuned to watch me eat those churros. Just so you know. While you're here, since there's so many of you here, I can't believe it. I love it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh my gosh, Chris Falconer, Churro, you the real one. Sweet, stick, flexing like a sugar stun, gun, crunch with the soul, soft on the beat, you the snack king. Can't nobody compete. I totally agree. All right, what color are we going to put on the board? I'm getting used to these new chalks, okay? Churros are for the win, Cody. I'm so excited for churros right now. Chorritos. No, they're churros locos. So I'm excited. I don't know what that means, but I think they're just going to come with things on them. All right. Let me queue up some things. So how many of you grow? No, most of you don't grow. Cool. You're going to grow with me because I don't really grow. Where's the switch? Michelle is here. She's entered. Priorities. Where's the motherfucking switch, bitch? Here you go, babe. Here you go. I bet I could ask for another one. Let me ask for another one, Michelle. Where's Neen? Where's Neen to alert Vanessa that I'm trying to talk to her? No, Nina's not here. Nina's not. I think she's got some family stuff. You know, it's like kids and school and stuff. Should I fully open this? I'm kind of nervous too. I think I need to do stuff to set it up. I'm very proud of us for getting that that churro order in. I'm very excited to eat churros. I hope they're crispy though, because I don't want a real soggy churro. That's not a good time. You're impressed by the packaging of the weed industry? Yeah, there's a lot of money. Especially this kind of stuff that doesn't actually like touch like the plant. You're not growing anything. You're not touching the plant for the business. These are like considered the picks and the shovels of the industry. Easier to invest. Okay, so we got the switch. Wow. Ugh. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to? Oh, here. Ooh. It's a bit of an unboxing. It's an unboxing. Ooh. Wow, cool. Oh my God. What did I drop? Something important. Okay, cool. So then on the bottom of it, it says scan here to install the app. Okay. There's always an app. Okay, so we got the Dr. Dabber. Do I need a little bit of water? Looks like an espresso machine, totally. I'd recommend cajeta. Yeah, it does, right? No one wants a soggy churro. That's right, Natalie. Oh, I was going to tell you what's the name of our intro song. And it's in my music folder. And, oh no, I have to figure out which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's Aves, Avees, Joyride. Let me see what this is. Yeah, Joyride. Aves. Joyride. Anyway, that's the intro song to the sesh. Isn't that funny? Okay, so we got our... Okay, so we got to definitely put water in here. That's okay, because I need some water. This is interesting. Holy shit. And I feel like I should wash this before I use it. You know, I see like a little dusty dust in there. Whoa. This is super interesting. No, I've not used... Wow. Very fancy. Okay, so this is a new situation here. Okay. You know, that is something for me to play around with. Maybe not right now because I'd like want to wash it a little bit. But let's see what else they gave me. 5 clicks off on, 1 click heat high, 1 click heat low. This is they love these little pens. I hide my eyes because the camera. Puffco is cuter. It totally is cuter. I will say that. This is more hunking. I should grab my Puffco. I'm definitely going to do a blog post about all these different rigs, but you can see like kind of the size difference. This is more for at home use, right? This is definitely more at home. And I know I am really lucky. CRL Beats. Thank you. I bought this one. This one I bought. This one was gifted to me. Puffco was gifted to me. The only one I bought was the Focus V. What's up, cowboy? Yeehaw. Oh, and I got like a charger and stuff. So I'm going to have to charge this. And they did soft touch on the boxes too, which is if you feel different, the exterior boxes you get into packaging, it's like an option you can get that's a premium option for boxes. Choices, you know, but then those choices get passed on to the consumer. So you kind of have to like, it's always this question of like, like with my chocolates too, how much people don't want to pay for packaging, but to a certain extent you need it to make it look professional. When you say even, and I picture you tipping your cowboy hat, that's funny. All right. So let's talk about soil. And we're not talking about yucky soil like what is in the backyard in LA. But we're going to talk about what people like to grow cannabis in. That's what today's sesh is about. I know we've been kind of shooting the shit for a little bit, but let's actually dip into it. And there's different types of soil. There's, different growing mediums. Some growers do just water. They'll just grow in like cocoa, and it's all very complicated with the with the uh with the nutrients that they give them. That's the part that always kind of intimidates me, is like knowing which nutrients, let me grab my headphones, you need to use for growing cannabis. It's like, oh, it grows so easy, it's a weed. I'm like, yeah, you can grow it, but like growing it well and to a point where you're like, yes, I want to smoke that flower. Like, I've grown plants before that I just put into organic soil, potting soil, and you put some worm castings and things like that. And they get nice. They're really beautiful. But is it like what I see my friends doing who cultivate for a living? Hell no, it's not even close. So let's learn something today, because that's what this is all about, is learning together and getting high, and me eating a little sweet treats. Nutrient system is tricky, right? Madam Dram, hydroponic, right? Hydroponic growing. It's always interesting. So let's start. I'm going to put this in here. Just you wait, little show. And then let me switch to...
All good cannabis soils from seed to harvest, the ultimate cannabis soil guide. Growing cannabis in soil is an excellent way to produce robust, flavorful buds. Plus, soil is one of the most forgiving growing mediums. But what is the best soil for cannabis, and how can you make your own? This video will answer these questions and more. Using the right soil is essential for cannabis cultivation. Finding the best soil can be challenging with so many options, from cannabis-specific soils to generic substrates and pre-fertilized types. Let's explore what makes a good soil for growing cannabis. The best soil depends on the strain, climate, and whether you are growing indoors or outdoors.
I'm sorry. For these, I don't usually... Oh, because I don't have the fine. Whatever. You guys can hear me now? Sorry, you guys. Sorry. My bad. I couldn't. It's because I'm using this mic, and I usually use my Brittany mic. And so when I switched scenes, because I switched over to our browser scene, that wasn't connected. And anyway, my bad. Send super chats. Madam Dram's like, get her attention. Maybe I should turn the mic off again. I'm going to turn the mic off. Okay, cool. You can hear this. I'm growing outdoor. Maybe I should smoke some more, because isn't that when things tend to go awry? When I get a little too high. No such thing. And I haven't even pulled the best rosin out. I'm going to wait till after the churros. I'll wait till after the churros to pull out the Moroccan peaches.
However, some traits are common among all good cannabis soils: texture, drainage, water retention, pH value, and nutrient content.
Okay.
Shop-bought cannabis potting mixes are usually optimized for growing cannabis. If you're growing organically, natural soil typically comes in 4 varieties: sandy, silty, loamy, and clay.
Okay.
Most soils are a mix of these types. For instance, a soil might be sandy loam or silty clay. Sandy soil is coarse and drains well, but retains little water, making it easy to work but requiring frequent watering.
Okay.
Silty soil retains water well and is rich in minerals and organic particles. Loamy soil, a blend of sand, silt, and clay, offers excellent water retention, drainage, and nutrient content.
So you want to mix?
But can be pricey. Clay soil retains water and nutrients well, but has poor drainage and is difficult to work with. Natural soil may not be perfect for cannabis from the start, but you can improve it with amendments. Coco coir, made from coconut husks, provides excellent water retention.
Oh my God. All of those coconuts that I scraped, I had to pull that stupid husk off of them. Should have saved it.
And lightens compact soils. Perlite improves drainage and aeration. Clay pebbles enhance soil structure, and vermiculite
Just want to let you guys know they're picking up my churros right now. Just letting you know.
retains water well. Worm castings improve soil texture, drainage, and water retention while providing beneficial microorganisms.
CJ says Silty Clay would be my adult film name if I did that.
Cannabis plants need a balance of nutrients, but too many
Look at all
nutrients
of those.
can harm them. If your soil is rich in organic material, you might not need to add nutrients. However, you can purchase nutrient solutions tailored to the plant's growth phase if necessary.
Whoa.
When choosing soil, consider whether you're growing photoperiod or auto-flowering plants.
Right.
Autoflowerers prefer a light mix with fewer nutrients.
Okay,
a
good to know.
50-50 mix of coco coir and light peat-based soil with added perlite works well for autoflowers. Photoperiod plants can handle more nutrients
Growers,
once they mature.
how do you feel about
Beginners
this?
might find it
I don't
easy
fucking
to
know.
start
This
with
all sounds good to
ready-made
me.
soil from a grow shop.
That's going to be me.
High-quality cannabis soil typically contains everything your plant needs for healthy growth. You can enhance shop-bought soil with a bit of perlite for better drainage.
I love this
For those
accent.
interested in making their own soil, here's a basic recipe. 1
Recipe?
part vermiculite,
It's like
1
cooking.
part coco coir peat, 2 parts compost, and half to 1
Compost?
cup worm castings.
Hey, I
Sieve
wasn't
the
wrong on
compost,
the worm
soak
castings.
the coco coir peat in warm water,
Wow.
mix the coco coir
Wow.
peat with vermiculite, and add the compost. This mix is suitable for most grows, both indoors and
Wow.
outdoors. If you prefer not to make your own soil, excellent commercial options include Cannaterra Professional, Playground All Mix, and BioBiz All Mix. In hot, arid climates, choose white plastic containers or air pots to keep roots cool. Adding layers of dry straw on top of the soil can protect
Wow.
it from temperature fluctuations. In drought conditions, water-absorbent polymers can help keep plants hydrated. Choosing the right
Thanks,
soil
Fraggle Rock.
is crucial for successful cannabis cultivation. Whether you buy ready-made soil or make your own, understanding what makes quality soil will help you grow healthy, productive plants. If you're passionate about cannabis or just curious about the plant's numerous aspects, we've got the perfect place for you. Join our thriving cannabis Discord community where you can discuss everything related to cannabis, from cultivation tips, strain selection.
Okay. Frank's Canna Lounge. Every grower is going to have a different opinion. Personally, I prefer synthetic to keep up with the rapid uptake cannabis needs. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's keep learning. Let's keep learning. Let's keep learning. I love it. Okay, let's put this here and go.
Today, let's talk about soils for sprouting your cannabis seeds or cuttings and other seeds or cuttings.
Yeah.
Generally, I would use a material like this, which is a professional grower's media. It's predominantly milled sphagnum peat and perlite. It has some fungal inoculants and such in there too, so it's a little more complex.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be around.
But I use it usually straight right out of the bag for sprouting most of my seeds, and also for growing most of my container plants in the nursery. Now, I live in a very humid area, and so a media like this one works for me because it's constantly wet here. But it can be hydrophobic if dried. That is, resists water like desert dust. And so if you're in a drier environment and you're using a material that has that much sphagnum in it, you're going to want to add some other materials to it. Here in the island, commonly people will mix black cinder. Black cinder is common for that purpose, and it does work. Vermiculite works. Probably large perlite
Liberty
may help.
What is a synthetic? Wait, can you guys, Liberty, will you tell me what's the beef? What's going on in the chat right now? Synthetic? What does that mean? What are we talking about? Like juices? Like just put some like liquid nutrients on top?
Vermiculite would be an addition. There are many other.
Thank you, Eddie Moretti. I'll put a heart. I'm going to put a heart next to your name.
Here on the island, I will commonly use another material called Sunrow. It all really depends on price and availability.
Cute.
Sometimes stuff is out of stock out here, so you use what you can get. There's subtle variations. I tend to believe that the Pro Mix has a little bit more wheat.
Okay, I got it. So there's synthetically created nutrients, and then there's organically occurring nutrients. Like, got it. Cool. Like there's synthetic cannabinoids, and then there are phytocannabinoids. Hydrosynthetic nutrients, bottled nutrients. I'm an organic soil nerd, so I'm against these things. Against them. We're going to learn about living soil, too. We got to do a little living soil.
In it than the Sungrow, but sometimes the Sungrow's got weeds, too. But the Sungrow comes in a 3 cubic foot bale, and the Pro Mix is a 3.8 bale.
What did I just order, too? I got some.
That's kind of big for most of you, and so you may want to be looking for a bag of seed starting mix. I'll get into that starting mix. You know, see, Gracie Cat showed up. Good morning, Gracie.
Wow.
You're gonna ask me, Bill.
3-11-11.
What do you use for fertilizer?
Japan.
In the nursery, most of the time, this here stuff, this is NutriCoat. Let's see, it's made in Japan. It's an imported product.
Okay, so what is it again? 131111 would refer to nitrogen. What is it? You guys know. Tell me. Please tell me. Let me know. Please. Please. And does anyone use this soil as well? Do you like this video? What do you think? Tell me your thoughts.
It comes in 50-pound sacks, and so it's probably a little bit beyond what most of you are going to use. This one's 131111, so it's nearly balanced. When they call it type 180, it means it's supposed to feed for half a year.
Wow.
They have 360s. Around here, 360 and 180 is probably cut it in half because of how much rainfall we get. But this is NutriCoat.
Jeff Lowenfels.
Yeah, so very similar fertilizer to the NutriCoat that you can find in
Teaming
small
with
packages
Microbes.
at your local garden store is Osmocoat. It's close.
Liberty, are you in the Discord? You're a member of my Patreon, right? Right. If you're not, consider it. And if you are, get in the Discord and put it into the recommended books, please.
It doesn't have all the
Pro
trace
mix
minerals
for me.
that the NutriCoat has.
Add fertilizer later when it's flowering.
I like to use the time release in containers because they're reliable in their release rate, and they're generally non-burning. It's hard to kill your plants when you're using a fertilizer like that. Now this right over here is Nutri-Rich, and that's a
wow. You guys have a lot of opinions.
7% calcium. Basically what it is dried pelletized chicken poop from an Oregon egg ranch, the Stutzman farm. It's a very good product, and when it comes to an organic fertilizer here in Hawaii, I don't think there's a cheaper one that does a better job. And particularly when it comes to raising cannabis, calcium is required.
Got it.
Calcium silicate is what makes the little hairs or trichomes on the leaves and the flowers.
Why is he's like just sitting on a bag?
Calcium deficient, the plant doesn't.
Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I thought this was going to be more like engaging, but it's just really him sitting and talking on a bag. I can't do that for another 13 minutes. I think it'll go to sleep. Oops. Put that back. Get up there. And then let's watch something else. Let's learn about microbes. We love learning together.
All right, folks, it's 6 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started with.
Okay, just wait. I want to make sure this isn't this is an hour. We'll watch a little bit of this, you guys.
Introductions, because we have a lot of great content to cover for you tonight. My name is Annie Brones. I am an outreach and education specialist here at Tualatin Soil and Water Conservation District, and I will be your host tonight for Soil School. We're about halfway through the series. I hope everyone has been enjoying the sessions. We really enjoy being here with you all tonight. So
this important property of soil is important for functions like
this might be too boring too, but let's see.
This diverse and robust biological community that, again, really can't emphasize it more. It's
I want to get to her.
All of those important processes.
This lady is interesting. Sorry, you guys.
I also wanted to extend a special thanks to Renee and Annie for the invitation to speak today on linking soil biology with soil health, introducing some of the ways you can qualitatively evaluate soil health in your field or your gardens. I think this is the third soil school event I have participated in, and hopefully next year we'll be back in person. That would be wonderful. So my goal today is to increase awareness and appreciation for the amazing living biological community below our feet. I'll start by defining soil health and outline some key soil functions.
Good idea.
We'll go over who's down there and what they're doing and discuss how we can monitor or assess soil health in your system.
Too fast.
And hopefully it'll help feedback on my end, areas to research, efforts on management impacts on soil health. Okay, so building from the definitions that originated in the early 1990s, NRCS defined soil health as the continued capacity of soil to function as a vital living ecosystem that sustains plants, animals, and humans. I also like to use health as an adjective, and thus we can describe a healthy soil as a living system that supports a diverse, active.
What's going on, everyone? Aaron here from Happy Hydro.
Sorry, I got bored.
This is the video you've all been waiting for. That's right, we are taking the industry-leading top living soils and putting them through the ringer. We get our hands dirty by performing a slurry test to find out pH and TDS, also a drainage test, and even a real-time soil composition feel. So we do all the dirty work so that you can go into 2025 growing the best plants possible. So let's go check it out. Our channel and like this video. Also, get all of your indoor gardening supplies at happyhydro.com. Free shipping over $49. In a market that's
I
super
love the
flooded with a
mullet,
bunch of different
CJ.
types of
We're
indoor gardening
doing
soils,
it.
You're going to want to pick the best one for you and your grow. And when choosing the right soil, there's a lot of different things that you have to think about. And I'm talking consistency, nutrient content, drainage, aeration, and even the pH levels. And you can walk into any of those big box stores and grab one of those macro soils, just like a Miracle Grow or something like that, that has those time-release fertilizers in there. And while it sounds like a good idea to have time-release fertilizer, it's not necessarily meant for your indoor garden. The problem with these is that those time-release fertilizers are really hard to control. I mean, every time you water, your plant is getting blasted with a bunch of fertilizers, so you don't really know what that feeding is like for those plants. Also, it's really tough to monitor those pH levels when watering because of those time-release fertilizers. So the soils we will discuss in this video are crafted and cultivated using amendments with beneficial bacteria, while also utilizing fungi to break down that organic material, making it usable for your plants. Well, let's go check out some soil. First one on deck, Ocean Forest from Fox Farm. People have been using this forever. Let's see what makes it so great. So this is Ocean Forest from Fox Farm. This soil is ready to use, and it's excellent for both young and mature plants, which reduces the need for additional fertilizers early on.
Fish.
No need
Fish
for nitrogen
poo.
fertilizers initially, and it's ideal for garden containers such as pots and beds, and even houseplants. Some of the
Okay.
main key components of this include aged forest products, sphagnum peat
Cool.
moss, earthworm castings, bat guano, fish emulsion, crab meal, and all of these are providing you with your macro and micronutrients for the first few weeks of your plant's lives, which is roughly 4 to 6 weeks. Many indoor growers consider this soil to be the OG, and it's been around for a long time. I mean, probably your dad even used this when he was growing back in the day. And there's good reasons for this. It has been formulated for balanced growth and has the macronutrients you need for the plants that you love. With a soil pH range of 6.3 to 6.8, it does the job perfectly. Let's take a look at the soil.
Wow.
Whew. So right off the bat, this soil's got a good moisture consistency, so I'm not worried about it being too hydrophobic. And you can kind of see all the perlite that they incorporate in there. And
Yeah.
even some of these larger chip pieces, I think that's really going to help with a lot of drainage and aeration, keep those roots nice and healthy.
I was
for
gonna
ya.
do
And
bags
like they say, it's
too.
rated for about 4 to 6 weeks, so it's obviously hard for me to see what nutrients are in here. But just off the bat, I mean, this looks like really solid soil. That's some good soil. And being an
Wow.
ocean forest, it really incorporates a
big
lot of
whiff.
ocean aspects, I guess, including oyster shell, shrimp meal, and even crab meal. It's a really true surf and turf for your plants if you think about it. So cruising right along here. Oh God, this is Fox Farm Happy Frog. Some might say
Oh
it's
my
Ocean Forest, younger, heavier.
God. Just let me pause. Okella just joined Quarter Up. Thank you for joining. I see these. Like, I get a notification on my phone every time someone joins my Patreon. That's so cool. Okay, so you can join the Discord now. And make sure you check it out. The Discord is really awesome. If you have any questions about that, you can always DM me. Welcome to the club. You won't be in the club, the credits for this stream because, I already made them. But you'll be in them for the next one.
But still milder, brother. This potting soil is enriched with soil microbes to enhance root efficiency and nutrient uptake. And this is made possible by the inclusions of humic acid and mycorrhizae. Some of the key ingredients in this soil include aged forest products, stuff like leaf mulch.
Wow.
Earthworm castings,
Yeah,
which are
leaf
very
mulch.
high in microbial activity, bat guano, humic acids, and the mycorrhizae that we talked about earlier, and it even includes oyster shell and dolomite lime. A really cool feature about this soil is the amount of different strains of mycorrhizae that it contains. Up to 15 different strains is included in this bag of soil. And that's really cool because what the mycorrhizae do is almost extend
I don't
your roots,
want
which
any
is really
more
going to
of
make
this.
that root ball more efficient with nutrient uptake. This soil has its pH beautifully adjusted to be between 6.3
I need
and
more
6.8,
boops.
With most people fertilizing within 1 to 2 weeks,
I'm going to get some water and I'm going to get some more boops.
Fruit and flower nutrients. And it's ideal for indoor plants and container plants because this soil contains a lot of beneficial soil and microbes for improved root health. What's really cool about this soil is a lot of people will mix it with ocean forest because it's a little bit more mild. It's not as hot for those young plants. What are we waiting for? Let's get this bad boy in a fabric pot. So right off the jump, it feels much more dry than the ocean forest, which I guess makes sense in my mind. But what I'm seeing here is a bunch of different forest material. I know they mentioned that there was leaf mulch, but I'm also showing like larger size pieces of mulch, which, you know, even the size of this perlite is really going to be helpful for drainage. It feels really lush though. And I mean, super light, super fluffy. Makes a lot of sense on why people like to use Happy Frog. So like I said, this soil's a little bit more mild than the ocean forest kind. So this is really only rated for 1 or 2 weeks, and then we're gonna wanna start amending it. And one recommendation I have is Happy Frog Fruit and Flower. What's up next, Matt? Oh, BioFlower from Bio365. Let's go check it out. This is Bio365 BioFlower Soil Blend. As a biologically active and nutrient-dense soil, it is designed specifically for the flowering stage of plants and reducing the need for extra inputs for 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, this soil has way more nutrients, lasts longer, and is jam-packed with beneficial biology.
You guys, are you taking notes for me?
Optimal soil porosity, providing
I'm getting some
access to water while maintaining aeration for healthy root development and growth. The cocoa coir in
Oh, Frank, I saw that.
Hydrophobic, and even though the soil is only rated for 6 to 8 weeks, it can carry you through flower. Some key ingredients in the soil are the coconut coir, sphagnum peat moss, perlite, softwood biochar, gypsum, and other natural fertilizers such as feather meal, bone meal, poultry litter, alfalfa meal, volcanic ash, dolomite, kelp meal, Epsom salt, and sulfate of potash. What's really cool about the soil is its process and how it's made. Now we talked about some of the key ingredients, but one that sticks out is that softwood biochar. And in case you're not familiar, all that is that this softwood is turned into charcoal, which in fact almost creates a bio-hotel. And it hosts a plethora of microorganisms and plant roots. It's almost like a sponge for life. Not only does that biochar foundation sit for 3 weeks so that microbiology ramps up, aerates, and then sits for another 3 weeks, they do all of this inside. Also, we store the soil inside, so that means bug-free, baby. So I have worked a little bit more with this soil, and the feedback is the same across the board. It's an incredible soil, and it's even perfect for autoflowers. I mean, we've had a ton of customers told us about the success with popping a seed in a root rye cube and then water only for autoflowers. And a quick shout out to Dream Beans, they're doing it right. You might notice a little extra additive, it's the magnesium. That really is geared for that flower stage. Bio365's BioFlower does a really good job incorporating a lot of natural organic material,
like a real mess.
With, you know, perlite and other fertilizers that help this grow. And what I like about this is the nice, soft, fluffy soil, but you can see all of these cocoa coir strings in here. That's going to retain a lot of moisture. And when you retain a decent amount of moisture, the biochar that's built in, you know, kind of like a little hotel for those microorganisms.
Okay, sorry, you guys. I just want to show you all. The 5 iron's still on. Okay, we're turning that off for a sec. Turning the road off on this for a second. I just want to show you this Moroccan peaches from Rosin Tech. Really nice. I think this is their tier 1. Really, really nice. Love this. I would never cook with this, but I've definitely been smoking it. Right? Pretty. Okay, let's fuck it, let's boop. Let's boop, baby. It's boop, baby. Not as big of a boop as that last boop. That was a little aggressive. But a decent, especially because this is very nice hash, so I want to savor it. Savor it. Oops, boop. I don't like it when it smokes like that. But it smells so pretty. It smells like peaches. Put your little liddy poop on. Get on there, baby. I didn't wait long enough to heat this up. I know it's bad. I should have waited till room temp. Missed alarm again. Kyle, it's okay. We're still live. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo. 1, 2. 1, 2. It's a 1, 2. Boop, 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 boop. Are we learning things from this guy? Do we like this guy? I'm waiting for the churros. They're going to take a little bit, but they're on their way, supposedly. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, Okella, I haven't figured out when we're doing that. If I do it after the show, I'm not going to be able to talk. By the time we finish this club sesh, I can barely talk. And I used to do it after the kitchen sesh, but then I'm tired from cooking all day. So then I was like, should we do it before? So I really need to figure that out with you guys. Can we figure that out together, team? If you're a member of my quarter up or higher, you have access to the Discord. Also, I got these oranges, these little clementines. Ooh, I know, Okella, it's changed. Listen, this club has evolved over the years. I started in 2020 during the pandemic. Let me tell you a little story time while I peel an orange. We're going to keep learning about the soil, but let me tell you a little story time. So I started this during the pandemic. You know, it was like I was going to do in-person classes, and then there was a global pandemic, and so I couldn't do that. And I remember my friend Sunshine was like, you better figure something else out because you can't do in-person classes. So I was like, no, this thing will be done in a couple of weeks. She's like, you're stupid. Anyway, she didn't say that, obviously, but I hope she thought it. And yeah, and so like it was just like, you know, on my computer, I use my computer as a camera, my phone as a camera. This is an okay one. They're not all the same, these little oranges. This one is juicy, but it's not very sweet. You know what I mean? Okay. Pick Hi Seattle Flea. The best advice I can give you is pick one grower to be your mentor. That's my auntie. That's who will be my mentor. She's the only person I trust. Okay, let's go back to our learning. Sorry, I turned off that mic. Don't distract me. Okay.
That's going to be working overtime, providing all those nutrients to your plants and making those roots happy and healthy. It's not super overly saturated, wet, moist, but you can still feel it's got a nice, cool, damp feel to it, so it's going to rehydrate nicely. BioFlower is jam-packed with natural fertilizers that can carry you from 6 to 8 weeks, but some of our plants are a little bit hungrier than others, and for that, we recommend Gaia Green Power Bloom. And just beware, it is an organic amendment, so it does take a little bit of time, around 2 weeks to be activated, so be ready because flowering comes quick, and we don't want to be late. Up next, we got Indiconja from Purple Cow. Moo. Purple Cow Indiconja is a scientifically formulated, ready-to-use, water-only super soil designed to grow nutrient-dense plants from seedling to harvest. Ideal for heavy feeders like tomatoes and our other favorite budding crops. Some key ingredients are Purple Cow Organics plant-based compost.
Kathleen, I used to do compost. I used to compost, but I can't compost. No. I wish I could. It just attracts in Los Angeles. And like I was like turning it and didn't put anything funny in there. Just my vegetable scraps and eggshells and things like that. And I couldn't do it anymore. Let's just say that.
Sphagnum peat moss, perlite, bone meal, kelp meal.
I loved it though.
Potash, poultry litter, and volcanic ash. I would probably recommend starting seeds.
If I had like a big like country, you know, like I was out in the country or something, had a bigger property, more land, I definitely, or I guess I could get those machines that compost for you, but they seem so silly. The rats in LA, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to make a smorgasbord, okay, in the backyard for the old rats, and they're not fun.
In a less nutrient-rich soil, and
oh, good. See, we're still here. I didn't go anywhere. I don't even have my churros yet. I can't go anywhere until I get churros. I'm having a little pre-churro snack.
A really cool point about this soil is that it undergoes heavy metal testing.
I don't know what happened to my
clean flours and compounds for human consumption. Not only that, but it passes with flying colors.
That looks nice too. Maybe I should do a mix of these soils.
Indica from Purple Cow. Now this soil is really smooth. I mean, it's a very fine grain almost compared to the other ones, so it makes it really smooth and luxurious feeling.
Smooth.
A larger size perlite, fine with that. Really, very light brown in color. Not, I wouldn't say bone dry, but it's on the drier side. And still a lot of organic material in here. You can see like little sticks, little twigs, and other organic stuff you'd find in like a forest or something. But a really soft, light, fluffy soil while still maintaining a really small, almost very sand-like silt to it. Purple Cow says Indica is a water-only soil, and that any other added amendments might have negative effects on your plants. But that doesn't mean that this soil wouldn't really benefit from a nicely brewed compost tea.
Compost tea.
Stonington Blend from Coast of Maine. Let's get at it. Coast of Maine Stonington Blend. Now this soil combines a variety of premium ingredients to provide a nutrient-rich environment for plants, supporting their growth from seedling to harvest. This soil is designed for real heavy feeders like some of our favorite plants. But I will say it runs...
Churros are not here yet. We're trying to be patient. They can only get here as quickly as they can get here. It's Los Angeles. It's 5:41 p.m. in LA. Okay? Not a good time to be on the road. Going any direction right now. So we're thankful that they're bringing the sweet treats. Thank you for bringing the sweet treats. I'm so excited.
Runs a little bit hot and would recommend starting with their seed starter mix first.
Cody, you should be in the credits. Cody. All right, have you not seen your name in the credits? Oh, wait. Shit, I wanted to play this. But I don't want it to say any. I don't want it to have any audio. I'm looking at it right now. Uh-oh. But you're a member of my club? Let me double check because oops. I hate sometimes this computer is very annoying. There's certain aspects of it that aren't user friendly. There we go. I want to go to this. Cody, I'm just checking to see if you're a member. And if you are, then I need to make sure my credits are up to date. I'll just keep playing this too while I figure this out.
And then transplanting those young plants into the full-bodied Stonington blend. Now this soil is OMRI certified, and the key ingredients that comprise this soil is sphagnum peat moss, cocoa coir, perlite, composted poultry manure, earthworm castings, fish bone meal, lobster and crab shell meal, kelp meal, alfalfa meal, and mycorrhizae. One cool thing about the soil is its nitrogen
Cody,
level.
you're not a
Now, it
member.
has 5% nitrogen, but this is water-insoluble nitrogen, and it's slowly available from composted nutrients, so it's a little bit more of a slower release nitrogen levels for your plants. Also
Look at
showcasing
Madam
a well-balanced
Dram.
pH of just around 6.3 for optimal nutrient uptake. Plus, its high organic content ensures long-term soil health. It is suitable for a range of potted and container plants, both indoors and outdoors. It also supports plants without needing extra nutrients. This soil very much so supports plants through all stages and is actually ideal for 15-gallon containers. So this soil feels really nice, right? It's really light and airy. I would say it's the smallest size perlite I've seen so far, and it's well distributed, a very moist soil as well. Not as moist as ocean forest, but still you can see that it's just a little bit more wet than some of the other soils you're used to getting. And it does a good job of, it smells really good too, like a good soil. You can also see like a lot of organic material in it as well that has moisture coming out of it.
Let's grow.
So you can almost see there, it's a really nice soil. So Coast of Maine says their Stonington blend is rated for a 15-gallon pot or larger because it has all the nutrients it has to carry it from seed to harvest. But since we're only using ours in a 7-gallon, we might need to add a little bit more. And for that, we would use Coast of Maine Stonington blend plant food. And last but certainly not least, Build a Soil's 3.0 recipe. This is Build a Soil's 3.0 recipe, and it is a nutrient.
Okay, so this is the one. Who said that this was the one that was very good and on point? Please raise your hand. If you're in the class and you're paying attention and you said this 3.0 recipe is the jam, please raise your hand. Okay, and look at this. The mullet guy really knows his stuff.
Nutrient-rich, compost-based soil designed for water-only growing. This makes it ideal for flowering and full-term growth. Created with high-quality ingredients, this soil is balanced for most plants and known for its exceptional performance. This soil is chock full of organic material. With a laundry list of key ingredients, some of those ingredients include premium compost, Build-A-Soil worm castings, Build-A-Soil Big 6 trace minerals with humic acid, organic Canadian sphagnum peat moss, organic New Mexico pumice, organic parboiled rice hulls, Grand Mesa Colorado volcanic basalt,
Look at this fly.
organic Diamond K gypsum,
dare you.
High P organic rice bran, organic Thorvin Icelandic
How dare
kelp meal,
you. Get outta
organic
here.
mustard seed meal, organic 2-row milled malted barley, organic
Wow.
alfalfa meal, something called Montana Grow, which I'm going to get into a little bit later.
What's Montana
and Build-A-Soil's
Grow?
Pre-charged biochar with root rise microbe complete. Like I said, this is a laundry list of organic materials. And it's even crazier because this soil is crafted
Cowboy,
and blended in
you did.
Colorado in-house. So they're not sending it somewhere else to be built. Also, this soil ships
Lip
moist so that the
care
microbes
of
don't go dormant, making it a really
Fenty.
true living soil. This soil has also been put
Thanks,
through the ringer.
Rihanna.
It is designed based on Logan Labs soil testing, and it provides optimal plant nutrient levels. Jeremy from Build a Soil puts it as designed to, well, have more everything. And I mean, that guy is a living soil expert. And this soil is very rich in nutrients, and you don't need any extra supplements. They say if you do want to add something, just make sure that it's organic to keep in line with the makeup of the soil.
Right.
Because they've done a lot, heavy metal testing, adding all the organic material, and making sure that this soil is best for you, for your plants in a
Right.
long-term, full-term growth. So Montana Grow is just a mineral-rich soil amendment. It's extracted from the natural deposits in Montana, and it enhances soil health and nutrient content, adding essential minerals and improving overall soil structure. Build a Soil's 3.0 recipe. Man, what a chunky soil. I mean, the size of these pumice stones are incredible, and it's still so smooth though. Just digging my hands in, I feel, enough resistance where I can feel it compact a little bit, but man, it just glides through there like butter. This is a really nice organic soil. You can see all the different organic pieces in there as well. Looking at nice light brown, a bunch of cocoa it looks like too. Man, and Build a Soil has a pretty unique manufacturing process in which they don't sterilize their potting soils or their compost. And that's cool because it really preserves that microbiome in here.
Oh no.
One thing we did come across is a disclaimer from Build a Soil saying that because they have this way of making the soil, you may find the occasion.
Okay, Madam Dram, you're going on the board. I'm going to put you in green. Put you in green. The little monster woke up. You turn her off. Okay, so let me put Madam Dram goes on the board. I'm going all over the place on the board today. These colors are inspiring me to be a little bit, just like a little bit wilder. I'm going to feed the old doggy, the little doggo, and you keep watching, okay? The monster is on the loose, and I know exactly what she wants. She's a very scheduled little doggy. She knows what she wants when she wants it. And I'm also going to ask you, I'm very curious to know, get out of here, fly, shoo fly, don't bother me. I'm writing you guys a poll. That's what's happening right now. Okay, there we go. There's the 3 options. I know that Ocala, that fly. Hello. You guys learn.
Fungus gnat in
I've
here
got to deal with this
your
little
beneficial
doggy.
fungi, your beneficial bacteria.
Down.
But we've had this soil for about a month now, and there's no activity like that. You know, no unwanted guests in our bag of soil at least. So let us know what you see in the comments down below. Another super soil jam-packed with an incredible amount of natural fertilizers and plant food. But to take your plants to the next level, we might need to add something else. And for that, I recommend the craft blend from Build-A-Soil. So you may see some numbers or at least some symbols that look familiar to you. And that's because as gardeners, we're all aware of the NPK values. And all that means is that there's a certain component of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that the plants need and that are jam-packed in some of these soils. But don't worry, you might see low NPK values, and that's because naturally, soil doesn't really have a lot of NPK. It's what we add to it that makes it important. Just going to use some distilled water in equal parts soil to equal parts water. Mix it around so it's a nice slurry. Almost like making brownies, so not as tasty. Well, for me, maybe your plants. Well, that's it. So right off the bat, like this is the thickest. So right off the bat, the bioflour really holds well. It's a nice slush. Also, a little thinner. This is Costa Maine. You can see a lot of the perlite floating around on top there. This is bioflour, Build-A-Soil 3.0. You can see a lot of...
What did I miss, everyone? What is going on? I would love the weather to be in the 70s. Yeah, what is the club? Club sandwich? I would club. What's the club? No, what's the club? Okay, so let me tell you. If you said no, what's the club? And I feel like you're saying, no, Ocala, you're part of the club. So you know what the club is. You're just being silly. You're just being silly. Okay? And the club is my Patreon, the Edibles Club. It's where all the cool shit happens. It's where we hang out. The link is up top. I live in the desert. CJ's making brownies. Are you making the brownies from my cookbook? They're so good.
The husk and stuff.
Wow, look at he's doing all these tests.
Get a lot of stuff floating on top.
We have like 20 minutes till my
This is more
till my
and Happy Frog, kind of the same.
churros. So excited. Fucking fly, man.
Bioflower.
Get out of here, fly. Get out of here. You're not welcome.
Coast of Maine.
Harry Lee's a proud member.
Build a Soil.
Whoa. Interesting.
Ocean Forest.
Okay.
Happy Frog.
So what's
So I'm just
the
a couple
best?
hours out away from performing
Not separating?
that slurry test. When I saw these just sitting here, I thought it was super cool to take a look at. Because of all the settling, you kind of see how it's distributed in each of these different cups. You know, we have our different flavors or genres or different types of soils that we're looking at. Because I mean, if you were to look from the top, they look very different. Each set,
The
every
flies
one
love
is
us
totally
Italians.
different from the other. You know,
Is
so
it
this
'cause
is the
we
first one
smell?
we're working at. We're gonna make our way this way and just talk about them real quick. And I have a flashlight that I'm also gonna shine behind them, just so that we can get a real in-depth glimpse of what the heck's going on in these. So this first one right here is Happy Frog, which we're seeing a nice even distribution between the top layer and the bottom layer. So to me, that's a good mix between heavier products and lighter products to make that soil work for them. Also, we're seeing a nice even kind of clearish in the middle. I don't really know what it means, but we're just kind of gaining information and knowledge.
Oh, you just signed
The
up.
second we got is Ocean Forest, and just kind of like Happy
Did you
Frog,
sign
we're
up?
seeing an even distribution between that top layer of soil and that bottom layer of
Oh
soil,
my God, I'm
cut
gonna
in
kill
half
you.
by that layer of water.
I'm gonna go get my
It's
fly
still on
swatter.
the clearer side, which is interesting because some of the other ones aren't as clear. Moving along, we have Build a Soil, which we see a very fine line at the top and a very...
Just so you guys know, to be in the credits, because that's part of your you're helping me make this possible, right? You have to be a paid member of the club. So the freed members are kind of just, they're there to be like, hey, I want to get notified when you post anything, when you're going live. I hope one day I'm going to be a paid member. Until then, I'm just here and making sure I know all of your news and updates, right? And like eventually I drop stuff that is exclusive for paid members, it becomes public. But to have access to the Discord and to have your name in the credits, like we have over 700 members, but then we have 280 plus paid members. How many is it now? 283 paid members. So to be one of those 283 that's in the credits, you know, you gotta be a paid member. Not as a pre-roll either, as a thank you to my pre-roll members, but as starting at 5 on it. The pre-roll, they get love from me. Thank you for, it's like you want a little taste of the club. But the full club is 5 on it and higher. So pre-roll gets like access to content that gets posted for other members. They have access to the Discord so you can see it, but you can't leave messages yourself. I'm sorry. There's gotta be a reason to join, you know?
Very heavy bottom. This has been almost like percolating. You can kind of see there's a bunch of stuff still in suspension and it's working. It almost looks like a lava lamp.
I mean,
which is pretty cool.
Like the thing is, hey JL Sanders. Oh good, happy to hear you've been working. That's a good thing to be doing. It's good to work. I'm hope so. It should be $5 or something a month. I've gotten a bunch of different members. So I've gotten Okella would just joined. Jason Holmes. And yes, you just joined High Five. You joined High Five. Sorry, I changed the name to High Five, not 5 on it. Welcome to the club. So yeah, you have access to the Discord. You can go into those channels. You can put funny memes and chat with us and, you know, put what you're smoking, what you're growing, your recommended books. Sometimes we drop shows in there, TV shows we're watching. Is anyone watching The Gilded Age? It's like one of those things where you're just, I don't know. It's kind of camp in a way. It's like kind of ridiculous. I love it. Anyway, they left us on a cliffhanger. If you haven't watched it, I won't give anything away. But, you know, latest episode. I am up to date. Okay, I'm distracted. Let's keep learning.
Because a lot of that organic material is
before my churros get here.
Soaking up enough where it's sinking to the bottom. So we're seeing a lot thinner of a top and a lot thicker of a bottom, and
let's
not
speed them up
nearly
again.
as much perlite as some of the other ones. This next one is the Coast of Maine, almost on the same level as the Build-A-Soil, a very heavy bottom layer, some particles still in suspension, but when you look at the top, it's a lot more perlite in that smaller area, so that's a lot of it that's still floating is that perlite.
Okay.
So you must use smaller pieces and have a lot more just lightweight mass to them. This
Hi.
next one is Indica, which is really cool because it's a really dark murky. It's almost like tea in the middle.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that there's a lot of nutrients in there that are working overtime.
Wow.
You see a lot of it in suspension, and it's a good even layer. The bottom layer almost looks like silk. It's a very fine particle.
Huh.
Where some of these bigger ones at the top, not as much perlite, but really dark in color. And next we have bioflower, which is really crazy because a lot of it floats to the top. And I think that's cool because that's going to
Chad,
show that
you're
a lot of
Chad.
the air mass and lightweight materials that they use is really going to help your plants in the long run because it's going to aerate those roots. There's going to be more area for them to infiltrate and grow bigger. I mean, we're seeing almost all of it at the top still, which is wild because they've been sitting here for almost 24 hours. So I'm interested to see what those pH levels are at. What's really cool about this shot is that you can see almost like what is the makeup of these soils just by seeing what's kind of, you know, floating around at the top. Here we have ocean forest. This one is Happy Frog. This one we have Coast of Maine. We can see those little tiny perlites really floating at the top there. This one is Bioflower. Indica. And Build-A-Soil. Well, time to do some science. So here we are for our slurry test. And what I just did is I took some distilled water and equal parts soil and let them sit for around 24 hours so that we have a lot of
Chad
that,
Westport. Should we watch him?
Into each other, and then we're going to get the runoff, and we're going to test the runoff. And what we're looking for is pH and TDS. And all I'm going to do is filter these out so we just have that pure.
Oh,
runoff,
you're Chad
and
Westport.
Just go and test them. So let's figure it out. So
Chonky Nugs, that's how I got here.
And our ocean forest slurry.
Wait, how did everyone get here? That's what I want to know. I'm learning about soil. Welcome. I saw the notification. I subscribe. Chunky Nugs. Yeah. Word. First time here, Chunky Nugs. Maybe it's because we were just on the... Oh, cool. Welcome. You are many places. That is awesome. Always good to see you. Oh, Chad Westport. Welcome to the sesh. I am Vanessa Laverato. I'm an edible maker. And I was a co-host on Bong Appetit, which was a cannabis cooking show on Viceland for many seasons, and then I have a cookbook, How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time, and then I do this sesh, and I have a club, the Edibles Club, and every Saturday I cook live for the sesh. So welcome to this stream. I'm learning about soil because I'm getting ready to grow. So we're learning about living soil and testing the 6 best indoor gardening soils. I might do some plants indoor and see if I can't get like a little tent. And then I'm going to do some outdoor. I live in LA, so it's pretty nice here. Good thumbnail. Thanks, Chad. That means a lot to me. I'm not even joking. I make those, and I was like, yeah, we're going to talk about soil. That's where I know you from. Bong Appetit. Yeah. I used to have really short brown hair. Really short. And I was very thin, not that I'm not, that was over 10 years ago. So I was 30 years old on that show. I turned 30 on that show. Or almost 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. You're famous. No, I don't know about that. I am a public person for cannabis is what I would say. So, if you're going to get a 10, do indoor. I will send you a light. Oh, wow. Cool. Okay. I'll let you know. They want me to do, so ILGM is sending me a bunch of seeds. Are my churros here? But, I want to do a bunch of different ways and just experiment. He's testing all sorts of things here. It's very cool. Whoa. Are they here? They're getting close. It's almost churro time.
Test, I have a couple of the same size containers with a bunch of different holes drilled into them. So this is going to just kind of see how fast it takes the water to travel through these different soils. And the first one we have up is Ocean Forest from Fox Farm.
This guy's so smart.
All right, next up we have Happy Frog from Fox Farm. And what I think is really cool about this test is that it just kind of shows you how fast the water travels through the different soil mediums. So depending on how your plant likes its environment, that's going to kind of dictate on how much saturation or how much drainage you want your plant to have. Here we can see what BioFlower Bio 365 soils look like.
Wow. That took a little longer.
Next we have Indicanja from Purple Cow.
Whoa. Pretty fast.
This one is the Stonington blend from Coast of Maine.
Okay. Great, Chad. Cool. It was time to boop.
This one took so long to permeate through the soil, but then again, I thought about how much moisture they already had locked in, and it makes sense that it's not just a super dry soil that is going to be flushing out water right away.
Wow. Chad, I should have you come on and talk on this.
3.0 recipe.
Oh boy. Moroccan peaches, you guys. Just a little boot.
Well, wrapping up the drainage test, let's look at the winners. In first place, we have BioFlower from
Diggler.
Bio 365. I mean, with the soil composition, the way that it holds the moisture, and also that softwood biochar, which really ramps up root production, and the sheer amount of biology happening in the soil, makes it really good for first-time growers and long-time growers. In second place, we have Build a Soil 3.0 recipe. I mean, this is the ultimate organic growing experience. From the way that the soil
I feel like that's what I should get.
All the way till it arrives at your door, it's going to be an incredibly organic experience. Next, I have a couple of honorable mentions. The first one being the Stonington blend from Coast of Maine. This really rich soil is incredible for a long-term, larger size grow, especially rated for the 15-gallon pot, and it is jam-packed with a lot of nutrients. And I also have to give a shout out to Purple Cow, Indicanja. This is some pretty funky stuff. You know, each step of the way, I was even more intrigued with the finer particles that it has, the smells that was coming off, and it just feels like a really good soil that I'm actually really excited to try. Well, that's it for this video on the best soils going into 2025. These are industry-leading soils, so if you guys have any experiences with these ones in particular, or something else out there that you want to
Oop. Sometimes it makes me drool. She's just a boop machine, and she don't boop for nobody but you. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Ooh, what piece is that? This is the Focus V. But I also just got the Switch 2. And I have the Puff Cup. I have the Puff Cup. My churros are here. My churros are here. My churros are here. Look at her go. Get him, Baba. Get him. She's fierce. Baba, can you just chill? Look at her. You're so fierce. He's so fierce. Yes. Don't bug the people. Yeah, you're okay. Yes, you're a good girl. Did you eat your dinner? Yes, you're so clean. Yes. No, it's not for you. No. Damn it. Did you see her like take a sniff? Okay, I'm gonna go live on Instagram again because it just was like a fun way to get people to come over to YouTube. And we got our order from Churritos Locos. Right? Anyway, we're gonna eat some churros. I love it. It's late. It's 6:10. It's time for a sweet treat. It's time for a sweet treat. I'm live on YouTube. I'm still live. I go live for hours. 3 hours. I don't know what sauce is what. I got churros. I've been taking dabs. So obviously it's time for some snacks. We've been learning about soil. Okay, so one of these is dulce de leche. One of these is Nutella. What is going on here? And one of this is a plain churro. So let's start with their plain churro. And I want to say, like, when I judge these places, I keep in mind that this is brought to me. So they're never going to be, oh no, this is the Churro Loco. This is definitely the Loco. We're going to start big. Let's go big or let's go motherfucking home. Okay. It's the Churro Loco. Look at that, my friends. I got hot fudge sauce and I got Reese's. I know. Okay. I know. I'm live on YouTube right now. If you want to watch what I'm doing, like, better, come hang out with me on YouTube. Okay, you guys. I'm going to eat this for you. This Churro Loco. Chorrito Loco. These are not churritos. Okay? This is a regular. This would maybe be like a do you say churrone? Could you say, like, how would you say big? That's how you would say it in Italian. I'm spacing off into the distance. Oh my God. And I got Reese's on top. And they're all a little melty. Get the fuck out of here, man. Churrito Loco. I love it. That is so good. Okay. And come back to that. Go away, fly. Shoo, fly. Okay, wait. I gotta cover it because the flies are here. I just want to eat all the little melty Reese's. Uh-oh. Don't drop it. Little doggies. Get out of here, fly. See? You got to cover it. You got to cover it. Okay, we tried that churro. I'll come back to it later when you're not watching me. Don't look at me when I eat that churro. It is loco. It's loco. And you can get whatever kind of toppings you want on it. Like you can go really loco. I didn't get anything savory, but then I got plain churros because I just wanted to try. I just wanted to see, like, I feel like you got to have like a base, right? Like you got to have a base. You got to start with the most plain. Okay. And then this is the dulce de leche. So this is caramel. This looks very crunchy. I'm going to take a little bite without anything. Oh my God. Just a little dip. The people on Instagram don't even know what they're missing because they don't hear the mic. You know, this mic is not close to my mouth. If you guys were all on YouTube right now, you could hear, oh my God, so this is Nutella, which like, duh. Nutella is cheating. But you all heard how crunchy this is. It's so crunchy. Nothing. But I prefer the dulce de leche. Mm-hmm. Yep. I know I'm double dipping. It doesn't matter. It's just me. Mm-hmm. Who told me to get churro? I don't know, but you were so right. I got 4 of them. I got so many churro. People are really hungry. Wait, is there cannabis in there or no? No, this is, I should make churro for the club, but these are so crunchy. Oh, I know it's bad to lick my fingers. Sorry. I want to try for science. I need to try for science purposes, both a mixture of, because I didn't do this. You guys, I didn't do this before. Of Nutella and the dulce de leche together. That might be, I need one more bite and then I'm stopping. And we're going to keep learning about soil, okay? And I'm going to stop this Instagram live. So if you haven't started watching me on YouTube, you should watch me on YouTube. I kind of like the double. I think it's good. These are so ridiculous. It's just Vanessa Marigold on YouTube. Same handle there. Vanessa Marigold. Let me know if you come over from Instagram. You guys. Madam Jam, you love it. The crunch is so good, right? Put a little heart. You guys, I need a little bit more. I'm going to eat 2. I'm eating 2. I don't care. It has to be done. They're too crunchy. Oh my God. And the inside. I know that doesn't look ideal, but let me tell you, these are really great. The texture of them, they're really crisp on the outside. And again, these were delivered to me. It's 6:20 on a Wednesday. I don't know what their hours are either, right? Are they closing soon? They don't taste like they were fried in bad oil, like old oil, at all. They're really nice being delivered and having them still be crispy, crunchy. Yum. Having a really good time. And then we're going to go back to learning about soil. I'm not going to eat all 4 of them, but I am going to eat 2. The final dip. The final dip, my friends. These churros. Churritos locos. No. Chorrito loco. Crazy churrito. They're not little. I want to see what like a big one is. And then this was the... Is this the same kind of churro? No. This one is the loco. So the other ones I showed you was the box, was the plain churros. This is their loco. I know it looks kind of like a not appetizing, but it's twisted. Try to put it in front of my eyes. There. It's twisted, you see? And I put Reese's peanut butter on it. Cuz I'm a little loco. Fine, I'll take another bite of this one. Not as crunchy as the other ones. No. If I'm going to spend like I don't like to think like that, but if I'm going to eat something, it's the plain ones. They're so good. I need to clean my mouth. The bigger one I don't like so much. Not that I don't like it. If someone gave me that, I would eat it. But I really like I really like these ones. I'm not eating the whole one. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Maybe it's a chorrito because it's like skinny. It is a little narrow. Right? Anyway. They're ridiculous. I didn't need to know this place existed. I didn't need to know these existed. Yes, if I could get ice cream, it would be great. And they had ice cream stuff. I just didn't want to get ice cream delivered. I just want to eat them all. Okay. Control yourself. Put it away. Wonderful. Really great. What a nice sweet treat. Really hit the spot. Now I have Nutella. I love it. Let's keep learning. Sometimes you should do churros and ice cream as an infused kitchen. For the kitchen sesh, yeah, we can do churros. We could do a churro ice cream sandwich. We could do that. That was so good. I need a second. Drink a little water to help the insulin. Sweet Creation's been there. Try the churro as a one-hitter. Actually, it probably would work as a one-hitter. Should I? I don't want to waste it. I could. Well, damn it. Now I got to do it. Okay, I'll just the half. Let me get some flour. Okay. So, lighter. So we'll take it and we will make a churro chillum. Careful. Okay. And then I would go back through. Bye-bye. Ooh. Okay. Needed to be doctored a little bit. Actually, it did. Okay, and then it's getting shorter and shorter. Come on. I just want to inhale dough. I'm going to leave it kind of like not ground so it doesn't break. Bonbon, get out of here. It's churro chillum. Okay? Yuck. Yuck. Ooh. Oh no. No, Baba, no. No. No, Baba, I'm sorry. Hang 10. No, Baba. No. All right, I'm back. We did it. Bonbon is trying to lick cinnamon sugar off the ground. Smoking cinnamon isn't a good idea. No, it's not. That was a bad idea. I was thinking about that while I was smoking it. I was like, wait a second. But here I am. Here I am. Noah's Sweet Creation. What invite? Did I miss an invite? Bong rip. Nice. Oh, you miss watching Bong Appetit? Yeah, you can mention it. I did a reunion episode not too long ago. I don't have a problem with Bong Appetit. That's how I met Be Real. He's the best. Ooh, too loud. Let's go back to this. And then I wanted to watch something new. Something new, everyone. We're still learning. That was so fun, though, to eat those. It was a good time. I'm going to have a salad for dinner, though.
Question is, do nutrients really help? Yeah, they do more than help. They're pretty vital to strong plant growth or growing plants at all. So two different ways to give plants nutrients. One is through organic matter breaking down like you have in soil or that you have out in nature, in the ground.
I was like, why is this guy so intense? And to be fair, I have him like super fast. Wait, did someone send me a super chat and I didn't notice? I'm going to make you guys a little smaller so you're not on my face so much. CJ, my bad. I almost missed you. Let's go back to purple. You're on the board, CJ. You're on the board. My bad. Almost missed ya. He's on the board. Everybody, let's calm down.
Or it's adding nutrients in when you're doing things such as hydroponics. But nutrients are 100% essential to plant growth. You cannot grow a plant without them. They need a balanced diet of all the micro and macro nutrients. And so they're not only do they help, but they are absolutely essential to plant growth.
Wow. Oh, that was it. That was it. That's all he had to say about that, my friends. Good to know. Let me see what this is. Okay, this is really long too, but let me... Why does everything have to be so long? Probably because it's complicated.
All right, this is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. So we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, we're going to share with you guys a really cool garden and a new way to grow some
unavailable
herbs, right? I've shown you guys in the past how you could grow it in a big hole with like the TD series last year. But honestly, guys, as much as I love TD and he's doing some great stuff and sharing a lot of good info with you guys, it may not be a practical way to grow the medicinal herb for most people because, it takes he invests a lot of time to grow these giant trees, to prune them, to pull them and play with them and do it really right, to maximize the yield, but also the quality. So what I want to show you guys is a different way to grow medicinal herbs, whether you want to grow cannabis or otherwise, and it's just in your standard raised bed gardens, right? Honestly, guys, this is how I would grow cannabis along with my other vegetables, because to me, it's not any kind of special plant we should worship or hail or anything. It's just another herb on the planet put here by God or whomever you believe in that by proven science has some medicinal benefits. I personally don't like to get the high effect or the intoxication effect personally, but I do like all the other health benefits from the cannabis. But look at this, guys. This is cool. Growing the cannabis right here next to the sugar that have been growing all winter.
See, that's my dream.
Totally the way to have living soil, because like literally this bed is never fallow, it's never empty. There's always real other vegetables growing in it, and even a diversity of vegetables. So hey, I love living soil. And living soil is great, and doing a living soil cover crop, a can of sewer crop is great. But what's even better than a can of sewer crop is growing all different kinds of plants, because every different plant will send down different root exudates that'll feed different soil microbes to improve your soil. So I mean, in this bed, he's got spinach, he's got the sugar snap peas, he's got the strawberries over here. Over on this side, he's got the calendulas. Calendulas are edible. I just ate one of those. He's got lettuce in here. He's got some
this guy's funny.
He's got a cucumber in here. He's got more plant starts going out. This cannabis is going to go in the bed here pretty soon. So he's growing a diversity of things. I mean, look, this bed, he has carrots, more sugar snap peas, and check it out, cannabis plant in with the kale, right next to the kale. I mean, seriously, guys, this is 12 inches away.
Wow.
And then he's got the...
They don't look great, though.
Flowering right now. The sunflowers in the back, gonna get nice and tall. And of course, for your living soil, you gotta have some mulch. So he's mulching here with his grass from his lawn. And check this out. This is his cannabis plants. But let's lift it up. Look at that. That's some living soil right there, guys. When you like lift it up and you see earthworms right underneath where the plant is. This is some good soil right here, guys. Look at that. All right, so what I really like here at Teal Farm, which essentially is just this guy's backyard, is that he's really trying to like grow a lot of things together next to each other, but like look nice at the same time. So check this out. He's got a wine barrel.
Oh wow,
got,
look at
strawberries planted around it. And then he's just got a cannabis plant in autoflower currently flowering. But then also like behind, look, he's got like different raspberries and berry plants going off too. And then down below the pot, he's also got more strawberries happening on there. So I mean, this is how nature works. Nature's not a monoculture, right? So growing 6 cannabis plants in your backyard is great. But what I think is even better is growing plants together with other different kinds of plants, right? No human likes to be left in isolation, right? We all like to be in community. So do the plants, and more importantly, in my opinion, so does the soil. The soil likes a lot of different roots going into the microbes to just flourish. So what I want to do in this episode is we're going to go ahead and show you guys actually how he starts some of the plants that actually end up in his garden, including maybe his cloning and his mothers that he's got going on to ensure that he has good quality females. And then we're also going to show you guys some of the nutrients he adds to create his living soil. And then at the end, we're going to go ahead and interview Seth about his living soil so that you guys can learn more about how he grows his cannabis, which is a lot different than how I've shown it grown in the past. All right, so this is where it all starts. Since we are here in the springtime, right, he's got his baby plant starts, sun gold, tomatoes, Churro Loco. You can see he's like really anal about labeling
So
everything.
He starts like that.
He's
wow.
got some cannabis mixed into some of these pots, and then also he's got them.
Look at all those lights.
And he's got
wow.
lights here. And you can
wow,
see
on a heat mat.
Too. Look at those little babies, how nice they look. To the grower here, cannabis is just another plant that should be treated just like another vegetable, right? And this is what we all need to get over. We're like elevating this cannabis plant to some special status, and really it's just another vegetable.
Look at that guy's garage, like garden.
Vegetables. Now, aside from starting his own seeds, he also has some other plants that I want to show you guys real quick. All right, check it out, guys. We got the Ultra HD by Seville Classics from Amazon, nonetheless, and check it out. This is his little grow room.
Wow.
So he's got the white rose LED lights right here. It's generating some nice heat. And first I'm going to show you guys actually what he's got up top. So check it out, because it's nice and warm in this little box, right? He's got little seedlings going, lupins, and different kind of vegetables. Here's some super hot peppers right there going on. He's also got some blue lights here. These are like bug lights for like fungus gnats and different bugs. He's got 2 different kind of catchers. The main thing on these catchers, I was actually just researching this a while back, that like you need to have the right nanometer of light, right? A lot of these things are like bogus because they don't have the right nanometer for the bug that you want to attract.
Wow.
But going right down, nice and bright. He has a dehumidifier in here should he need it. He's growing in these air prune pots that he likes a lot because they just basically auto prune and get some nicer root growth in there. Of course, he's got the standard fabric pots going on. He's got some vegetables down in here as well. But basically, these are his mothers that he's grown out that he'll take clones of, so he can have the same.
Wow.
He's got a lot of cool stuff on here. Look at this. This is actually called Freak Show Fern Cannabis. I really love how the leaves look. I want to actually
Whoa.
These salads.
What?
So looking forward to how these are going to grow out in the future. But basically, he comes in here and he'll just prune off any large leaves on the bottom. So we're just going to go ahead and clip one off. Check it out. And you know what? How he uses his leaves, actually, he puts his leaves on the top of the soil to like act as a mulch. So he mulches his cannabis plants with the leaves. That being said, I don't know that I'd waste valuable cannabis leaves on mulching it because I'd rather eat it. And I want to encourage you guys, you know, add some cannabis leaves when you're pruning them off to your salads, right? You don't have to make a salad out of cannabis leaves. We'll put a couple leaves in your salad, right? He's growing cannabis next to his lettuce. You could harvest lettuce, have a salad from lettuce, and have a half dozen or a dozen cannabis leaves mixed into the salad, chop up and eat them so you guys can get the health benefits by not smoking it, right? That's what I really advocate for on my channel, guys. Cannabis is much more than just smoking it to get its intoxicating effects. Yeah. It's got cannabinoids, terpenes, different kinds of phytochemicals and phytonutrients, vitamins and minerals, much like any other plant, as well as lots of documented science on its healing benefits. I love the compactness and just tautness of these plants. I mean, these are some nice, I mean, this is like a little tree here. This thing is so firm. It's totally insane.
I bet.
I love how
they look like bonsai.
How he wants them. And check this out, guys. He's got the micro irrigation going on here with all this drip tubing. He really gets into this stuff, man.
This is
all right, most important thing, much like you guys need to do with your vegetables, you guys need to harden off your plants. So don't just like take this plant that's pretty much ready to go out and get planted in the garden once the weather has warmed up appropriately. You know, it's like late April right now. It's May as we film this right now. So you can't just put it out and put it in the ground. You want to harden your plants off. So basically, once it's to size inside the garage, he'll take it outside and he'll bring it outside and he'll just leave it outside in the garden in its pot a couple hours each day. For, you know, several days in a row, including making sure it gets some nighttime activity when it gets the cold, because, you know, living inside a box in a garage where it's nice and warm, right? This plant hasn't experienced the weather, the real sun. So much like with vegetables, you guys need to harden your plants off. It's super important because, you know, you could lose them if you don't do this. And a lot of noobs just like, oh, I grow it inside, and grow it so good, I put it outside and it died. What happened? It didn't harden it off, guys. All right, so I want to share with you guys a few things here in the garden. So he's hardening off some of his cannabis plant here and some other vegetables. But check this out, guys. Like, this cannabis is still pretty limp, right? And it was falling over. So what he did was something I've never seen before. He took a pipe cleaner, right? And he just stuck it in the ground and he uses it basically as a stake that he could then wrap around the stem of the cannabis, or any vegetable for that matter, to keep it upright. So that's totally ingenious. Now, the other thing I want to let you guys know about is his beds, right? So one of the premises for living soil is that to have a living soil, you gotta have at least 30 gallons worth of soil. So whether you're having a big fabric pot or digging into the ground, a little 30-gallon space, you could actually put in good soil and enrich and build the soil over time, right? So he came into this house and it had these raised beds that were super tiny. So he basically got some more wood, and he basically built on top of it to basically extend them up higher to create more of a soil volume inside there, you know, because 30 gallons is the minimum, but the more the merrier, right? You want to have a soil party going on, you know, and if you're having a party in your house, you got a 10 by 10 room, you can't fit too many people in the party. I don't know, Mancha the house, the bigger the party, right? That's what he's doing with the soil here. More soil, more bacteria, more partying happening in the soil, right? Right. And this is how he makes his living soil happen, right? Check it out. He's filled it up with some good soil, and then he mulches really nicely. He's mixed in, you know, pesticide, herbicide-free straw with his grass clippings from right next door, right? So it didn't have to move that far. And check this out. We're just going to move it to the side. And look at that. There's a worm right there. There's a worm right there, right? There's more worms in this soil than I've seen. There's another worm right there. There's more worms in this. Oh, there's another worm I just touched. There's two worms.
Using grass clippings. That's surprising.
Than I've seen at any other garden or farm I've visited to date. So this is impressive. The techniques he uses. Let's cover this back up. Keep the worms happy. But check this out in the middle here. He basically just takes his lettuce when the leaves go bad, and he'll just drop them in there and mix it in, so you guys can see there's like lettuce leaves. So this is like a totally unique and different way of mulching things. And look, he's got, you know, plants coming up right in between the mulching. When he's ready to plant, he'll just move this stuff aside and plant right in the living soil. This is nice and moist. And look, more worms. I just moved that, and like there's two worms right. There's three worms right there. You don't have to look very far for the worms. That's definitely one good sign that you got some living soil.
If you ever want to go fishing,
every time you move the soil away, right? And check this out. He's got lettuce planted here, and he just planted a sun gold right in between there.
I love the
lettuce.
Nice
protected area for the sun gold to grow. I mean, today happens to be a colder day. The sun's not out, and it's probably going to rain tomorrow. But yeah, I really love how he basically just interplants things really so close, all next to each other. I mean, this is the future of gardening and farming, right? It's basically having a little vegetable
companion farming.
So now I want to go over with you guys actually how he builds some of this living soil and what's the specific soil recipe he uses to create some amazing soil. All right, so now I want to show you guys actually where the living soil starts here, because he's told me, like, John, I didn't bring in bagged soil by any large stretch to fill up my beds. I basically just made it all on site, and I've been slowly adding it to my beds to raise up the levels over time. So that to me is really impressive, because I just bring in soil. I don't have the time or the patience to make all my soil, although I do make a lot of compost that I add to my beds every single year. So I want to show you guys this setup here. This is a little composter that he got from Amazon, which basically you kind of put together and build. He had to stabilize it with some extra little poles here. And you look at the back here, he's got this big bin. So this is basically just a
compost.
So he's got leaves from his trees. He collects leaves in the neighborhood.
Rats.
And then mostly he's using shredded cardboard when his wife buys stuff and he buys stuff from Amazon and whatnot. I personally would shred the cardboard down to a little smaller consistency, because to me this is still too large. It'll take a lot longer to break down. But obviously it's doing really good for him. So what he does is he'll basically take his greens and he'll like put it in here, such as like, you know, his roses here are greens. And then he'll just take a shit ton of cardboard and then cover them up, right? And just totally covered up. He's got a compost thermometer here to make sure things are happening right. And then when he's ready to harvest, right, this little box here has these little doors on the bottom to me, this looks like some hokey ass Chinese stuff, but man, this thing is holding together. It's got nice aeration vents, right? And check this out, right? This stuff really works. We're gonna pull this up. Look at that. Underneath here, dude, the worms are coming out. When he wants soil, he just comes to here, and this is better soil than money could buy. You can't buy soil this good with this many worms in it, man. I want to take some of this soil home, dude. Look, worm, 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 worm. And look in there, there's tons of worms just going to town.
Yeah, that's how mine was.
This is truly the ultimate living soil, because not only does he take this soil, but he'll put some amendments in it and do other practices to make the soil even more living than it is coming right out of this composter. This is what we should all aspire to, is to make all the compost we need to use on site instead of bringing it in. I know a lot of you guys aren't there yet. I'm not even there, but he's doing it and he's making it happen. So that's really cool. So next I want to show you guys actually what he adds to the soil and other amendments and other practices he does to create some amazing living soil to grow his cannabis as well as his vegetables. All right, so another big component of creating a living soil is having some compost tea, and Boogie Brew is a living soil fuel of choice according to Josh and Seth here, and that's what he's brewing here in this 5-gallon bucket. He's got this casting for growth aerator there, which is interesting because it basically uses like the tubing that is usually it's basically like a sponge thing, and it basically just, he pumps air through it and it just bubbles on out. He's gonna have a weight on it to kind of keep it under the soil. And the cool thing about this setup, guys, check this out.
Wow, that's for his compost tea.
Solar panel on top of his
wow.
House, right now it's only running at 25% because it's not that sunny of a day, but on a sunny day he could crank it up to 100% and make a lot more volume of air bubbles, and you could argue more air is better or less air.
Right,
better.
Fraggle Rock?
Hey,
it's
you gotta aerate
really...
it somehow, and I would generally say more air, and I would have more air than this pump is currently putting out on this shady day. However, this is what Seth does, and by the results he's getting, it looks like it's working to me. Could it work better if you put more aerated? We don't know. We're going to have to test that one.
This guy's funny.
You can see he's got an empty bucket here with just water in it, and he's got a really cool setup here. So this is basically how he distributes his compost tea. Super simple, super easy. This rock on here is just to keep this weighted down, and this is just this little sediment filter. This is a siphon.
Wow.
So literally this is just a little filter so that particulate doesn't go in there. When he turns his water hose on, and of course he's filtering his water through the Boogie Blue Plus water filter, another very important component for living soil. You don't want to make and invest in your living soil and then kill your soil because you're using city water that has chlorine in it that is designed to kill the microbes, right? So he's filtering the water. So you can see this, basically this tube is a siphon valve that is an add-on for his hose. So anytime he waters, he basically will turn this on, and once he puts this in the compost tea, when it's done, it'll basically suck up the compost tea through this hose and inject it into the watering line, and that's when he waters his plants, and it'll take some amount of time for him to basically siphon out all this and dilute it into the water as he waters. So that's kind of ingenious. I just like to take basically a hand can of like watering, put my tea in here, and then just water it out, and then I'll actually go back and water it in. So yeah, he does it a little bit differently. So that's kind of cool. I mean, this kind of makes it a lot more seamless. You don't have to deal with a watering can. You can be like, oh, my tea's done. I'm just gonna go ahead and water my garden now and distribute the tea. So that's kind of cool. All right, so now the next part of this video is I don't want to scare you guys, but Seth here uses a lot of different amendments. Now here's the thing, guys. You guys don't need to buy all these amendments to have an amazing garden. There are some selected amendments and things that I think people should use to basically up their game. Maybe Seth, like me, maybe goes a little bit overboard and buys like extra stuff. So really make sure it's cool. But you guys, honestly, I mean, for just like this one extra thing, it might make it go that much better, right? But there's some base things that I definitely want to encourage you guys to get, and we're going to go over, just some of the products that he has, and I'm going to show you guys what they are and why they may be important for you. So over on this side of the table, we've got a lot of the products from the Boogie Brew Company, one of my favorite companies, and I've set up a special discount code you guys can use at Boogie Brew. It is boogiebrew.net/GYG to get the John Kohler Grow in Your Greens hookup prices that I've negotiated with the Boogie Brew team to get you guys the best prices on some of these very products. Of course, Seth uses the Insect Brass. This is the 3-in-1 Armory listed down to earth, good for adding some nutrients to the soil, but also help to prevent the pests. Of course, he's also got the Boogie Humus, which is a product I like. Actually, this latest Boogie Humus is really nice, rich, and black. The best shipment they've ever got, in my opinion. He's also got the Caliwana castings, and this is the Boogie Brew castings that are some of the best castings in the market for sure. He's also got the Boogie Brew compost tea. This is your base, guys. If you guys don't buy anything else on this table, you guys got to get the Boogie Brew compost, right? And if you guys are so cheap you don't want to buy the Boogie Brew compost, that's all right. Josh is cool, the owner of Boogie Brew. I made a video with him. I'll post a link down below where he shares his open source compost tea recipe. Now, he's always tweaking that and improving it and making it better all the time, but that gives you the basis of what you guys need to source and all the ingredients you need to buy separately to make something like he makes in the Boogie Brew compost tea. I don't want to go out and have to reinvent the wheel and play with compost teas and buy all the ingredients and put them together. So I personally use the Boogie Brew compost tea myself. If you're a heavy user like I am, you want to get the Boogie Brew Black Ops box. And that's when you get the private label stuff or the unlabeled stuff because he sells it in bulk and it's a lot cheaper. All right, so other products that he uses here is the Boogie Black. Now this stuff is no longer available. This is a collector's item but hopefully it's going to come back pretty soon. And then also we got things like the water soluble amino acid powder. So this is like the soy aminos you guys can add to your garden. Of course,
wow.
soy aminos, what I personally use myself, and this is what, you know.
Okay, so this is all the stuff he's selling.
You got to get this stuff minimally. I mean, this is the other thing on the table that I recommend above all else. Probably, I'd say after the compost tea. Josh might say, get this before you even get the compost tea. This is the pure protein, the fish hydrolysate. This stuff will make a huge difference in your garden, guys. Like, I always use it in springtime right after I plant my transplants, and, you know, maybe every few weeks as a foiler and soil drench, and it makes my plants go crazy. Of course,
I got it.
Different products, including a soluble seaweed powder. You know, soluble powders are easier to ship, and this one was purchased from Amazon. You purchased a lot of stuff from Amazon. Of course, he's got the Dakota Rev organic growth stimulant. This is new for this year. He hasn't even used this yet. He's got the mustard seed meal. This may be good for like fungus nests, even outbreak, along with other different natural remediation methods. Mustard seed meal. Oh, this is the stuff he likes a lot. The Stonington Blend organic plant food with lobster, kelp, and worm castings 524. So this one, just reading it, I'm like, you know what? You guys need to have like lobster and stuff from the ocean put into your garden, because a lot of the impact or the nutrients or the different, you know, chitin from the ocean, you know, crab meal and lobster shells and all these things, so valuable. And then moving over, another one of his favorite companies is the Build a Soil, and this is the Craft Blend Nutrient Pack. Of course, I visited this company in Texas, link down below for that video when I went years ago. The Micro Life Fertilizer. I love this Micro Life Fertilizer. I don't use it anymore, but this stuff is bomb if you're looking for a singular fertilizer. Of course, before I bought the Micro Life, I would get the Pure Protein one-stop shop right in this one. This is a lot easier. And this also, I like that the Pure Protein also has some bacteria in there, so it'll kill like little kind of worms and whatnot, like cabbage worms and whatnot on your plants. Of course, for some living soil, you also need some mycorrhizal fungi. As much as
I need to get some of these things.
We've got some granular mycorrhizal fungi, and here's a different Microbe Complete biological soil inoculant.
You guys, send me more super chats.
Root-wise as well. And then, you know, Seth is like, dude, if you got to buy a bag soil, this is like the best soil. You can do your whole grow, which is this soil. And this is the artisanal living soil blend 3.0 recipe. This stuff got a lot of things in there. This is some of the best stuff.
3.0.
Compost. Hey, I use that stuff myself. You get that
Build a soil. Everyone's talking about this.
Build a soil. Big trace minerals with humic acid. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff in this, guys. And here's the thing: as much as the soil may be some of the best stuff out there to grow your plants, the issue I have with it is that you got to be shipped to you, right? My goal is to make and buy all the amendments that they put in here, and then add it to your own compost or local compost that you find on site to basically make your own soil, so that you have to ship soil all over the country, as good as any soil is. And if you guys want to make your own good soil, you know, something else you guys should use is the hemp protein powder, this raw ingredient. This is a new product that is not really talked about using in living soil blends, but I'll be sure to have another video with actually Josh and Seth coming up on my channel, so make sure you click the subscribe button right down below, where we're going to talk a lot more about this hemp protein powder.
Build a soil.
To make your soil even better. And the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about is, like, you know, Seth doesn't just feed his worms just the regular compost that he's making. He also went out of his way to buy, I think probably from Amazon once again, a special worm chow. Now, he bought this worm chow, and he kind of felt scammed everybody. He's like, this is not the best worm chow, and he's hoping that some company will come out with a worm chow. I mean, the thing is this, right? Your worm castings are only as good as what the worms are eating. And yes, his worms are eating some really good food here, the carbon and all this stuff. But the challenge is you could add things into the, you know, the compost to feed your worms to basically take it up to the next level. That's what they do at places like OGS. Link down below to that video so you guys can see what they feed their worms, right? And I think a company should come together with a mix, a natural mix, including crab and kelp and oyster shell meal and all different kinds of
that's enough of this guy.
This is the Build a Soil 10x10, episode 3. I wanted to discuss this quadrant 2 with you. You might have noticed from the last video, we just finished the transplanting. Rolling into that next, we need to fill up the 3x3 planter that I told you we're going to use in this area. And to do that, I'm pretty excited. Underneath this table, we're actually going to move this out once we get the females. Hello and welcome to the Build a Soil YouTube series. This is season.
Whoa. What do we want to watch? Starting sowing seeds, soil feeding schedule, tropical. Thanks, Liberty. Followed. Cool. I ended up using my local mom and pop garden shop keeps in stock, especially for same day dates. Got it. For indoor growing, worm farming, aloe cloning. Sour smoke. 10x10. Season 1, 2. Season. I think they mean episode. Or no, maybe it is season 1.
Come on in the front door here. Let me show you. Let's go on in and take a look at the grow. Come on in. Welcome to the Build a Soil 10x10. So just to get to this 10x10 setup where we're doing the videos, it's actually been over 8 years in the making, and it evolved into this warehouse where you see the 10x10 and into a 30x144 greenhouse that we have next door to the property. And we actually sell fresh produce here in the store, and we distribute to a number of restaurants around Colorado. And that's lended us some confidence, right? We know that what we do works, not only with cannabis,
Amy.
but also with
me to eat a little more?
And because we have that confidence, because we know we don't need to bring in any chemicals, any pesticides, any GMOs, any of the stuff that they typically say you're going to need, we've proven it from end to end, year to year, back to back, multiple grows.
Churro.
You don't require that. You can get better quality and you can get all of the yield. And instead of just teaching you a snippet here and there, we want to show you the entire system because organics and nature take an entire ecosystem. And so that's what we want to show off here. That's why we have the 10x10, and that's where Build a Soil is coming from. We're transparent with our ingredients, and we're actually going to teach you our recipes, how to make them from scratch, so you don't have to buy anything from us. We just want to empower organic growers by providing the best quality products and free education. So if you have a question along the way, make sure to write it down here because we actually read every single comment on these videos, and it's really important to us because others might benefit from your question. So please don't just skip through, subscribe to these videos, hit the like button, make sure that you're interacting and asking questions.
Like
and if you know somebody that would benefit from this, send it to them. You know, when we do this a lot, it's hard to remember what the beginning questions were. We need that. We've got the Gorilla Grow Tent 10x10, and this is their heavy-duty grow tent. With a 10x10, it gives us more ability to instruct. Let me show you the tent. If you look up and around, you can see that it's got all these different poles to hang stuff off of. It's got vents for tubes to come in and out of. It's all ready. And if you look at this area over here, there's a 1-foot divider. You can actually set up your tent to be right here at this height by dropping this down, but it comes with the extra 1-foot extension and an extra 1-foot piece of pole. And so you can make it a foot taller. They actually sell a 2-foot extension kit, and you can make it 2 feet taller. And so there's a lot of flexibility with this tent depending on what you're doing, what kind of grow lights. And so that brings me over to the grow lights. I'm gonna grab these glasses. These LEDs are really bright, and I wanna look at them. These are the LED full spectrum grow glasses, and they are made by Method 7. We just got the most affordable pair because they're just here for the grow room, and it really makes a difference on your eyes. And up here as I look, these are the Cypress 8. There are 8 bars of LED strips. They're one of my favorite grow lights. We're gonna be using them in these 2 areas. They're both the same light. And then over here in this area, I'm gonna break it down by quadrant, but in this area we've got cobs or chip on board. It's a big LED instead of hundreds of small LEDs. And this 50-watt cob, there are 12 of them. So this is a 600-watt setup. These are over 700 watts. And then above the vegetables in this quadrant 4, we've got a really interesting do-it-yourself setup. They're 100 watts. It's a Vero cob, and I have these in the garage of my house. So I just brought them down, clipped a wire onto it. Super easy to grow food in an area like this. So now that we've discussed these grow lights, I'm gonna take my glasses off and I'm gonna talk about each one of these quadrants, what you can expect in the coming months that we're gonna document and why you might wanna watch along. So in this front quadrant, we're actually gonna be moving the lettuce out of here, but this is there because we have extra space. These are Jericho lettuce heads. I'm gonna actually move this into the food growing quadrant 4. And we're gonna take 2 earth boxes and we're gonna grow them in this area.
Yeah, they're all kind of intense. You can't teach people how to be on camera. Also, I'm like speeding him up, but it's a lot of talking. Michelle, I sped him up. Here's him normal.
Part of what we're doing to highlight the differences, we're gonna do a brand new earth box, which I'll show you. We'll put some wheels on it so it rolls around like this one. But it's got a special tray that holds the soil and a reservoir below that will hold the water. And what's so unique about this is that means the water roots can go deep and drink pure, clean water, while feeder roots up top are gonna eat the compost and organic amendments we put in here. And in that way, it's a powerhouse.
Okay, what, you guys don't like him. Okay, let me get... Let me do something else then. Bonbon, don't get all upset. Don't get all hot and bothered. That's what she does. Let me see what this is. Oh no, this is that guy. Okay, so then oh my goodness, Bonbon. Okay, microbial living soil for cannabis. I just want to look at this before. No. Okay, let's see. I'm going to read to you. This is Dirt Connections, whatever that is. Improving cannabis soil health is essential for growing healthy and robust plants. This article focuses on the significant contributions. Oh, wait, I wanted to ask you one more question. Oops. I want to end the poll. Some of you are paid members. Some of you not paid members. Know what's the club? The club is the Edibles Club. It's my Patreon. The Edibles Club. You should check it out. It's on Patreon. Link is pinned up top. Bonbon says, I'll protect you from the wild mommy. Bonbon is fiercely protective of her home. She does not want anybody coming here that's not supposed to be here. She's not about it. Okay, so let's read about beneficial bacteria, fungi in cannabis soil or in soil in general. These essential microorganisms are essential for it. Okay, this is redundant. So we're already going to not read this. Okay. For example, mycorrhizal fungi, a type of beneficial fungi, extend their hyphae fungus filaments far into the soil to increase the root system's reach, which helps the plant absorb water and nutrients, particularly phosphorus, more efficiently than roots alone. Got it. So we need these beneficial bacteria to help the plant to be able to absorb nutrients, just like we need those kind of bacteria in our own gut biome, right? We have our own microbiome in our gut, and it helps us absorb nutrients. There you go. Look at that analogy. We're just like roots. We're just like growing plants. Combating, so then also having a very kind of diverse soil with a healthy microbial system is it helps to combat pathogens and pests. So certain bacteria and fungi produce compounds that are toxic to common cannabis pathogens and pests. These natural biocontrol agents can reduce the need for chemical pesticides and fungicides, which is particularly important for organic cannabis cultivation. Harmful microorganisms such as Erwinia amylovora, whoa, the fuck is that? Fire blight. Let's look at this. Fire blight, also written fire blight, is a contagious disease that affecting apples, pears, and some other members. So it's not, does it affect cannabis? Fire blight? Scorched leaves. Oh yeah, I guess I've seen that in cannabis. Tissues. Dull gray appearance, shepherd's crook. Huh. Interesting. And then let's see this one. It's a gram-negative bacterium that is a member. Okay, family of bacteria that are commonly known for their association with plant disease. Parasitic. Huh. Okay, so having a healthy soil can help fight those kind of diseases. So when you see those things coming up on your plant, you know, obviously you're trying to prevent them, but if they do come up, it's like, okay, I got to look at my soil. Instead of just automatically going to spray the plant or something like that. It's like, how can we help the soil? Implementing beneficial microbes in cannabis cultivation. For cannabis growers looking to leverage the benefit of cannabis soil microbes, there are several strategies. One approach is to use microbial inoculants, which are products containing beneficial microorganisms. These can be applied to your cannabis soil or roots during planting. It's important to choose the right type of inoculant for the specific cannabis soil conditions and cannabis strain. Another method is to encourage the natural growth of beneficial microbes, which you can achieve through practices such as composting, and which adds organic matter and nutrients to the soil, creating an ideal environment for microbial growth. Ugh, I wish I could compost. What a bummer. Cover cropping is also an effective practice. Certain crop can increase the population of beneficial microbes in the cannabis soil. So like I have some beans out in my raised bed. I could always like cut some of them down to make room for the cannabis plants, and then they'll put nutrients back into the soil. Especially beans. You're not feeding the plant nutrients, you're feeding the microbes. They break it down and poop out what the plant uptakes. How very interesting. So this isn't a good article. It's kind of like basic bitch article is what you're telling me. Okay. All right, you guys. Do I have anything else that I want us to read? I wanted to learn about, this isn't cannabis, but I just thought this might be interesting. Oops. Okay. Let me see how, oh no, it's too long. I just wanted a little clip, but I wanted to look at cannabis terroir. Let me look up and see if I can find something. Oh boy. Let's watch the Gagier. I was supposed to do something with him up at CannaFest.
Here to discuss what is terroir and how it affects the genetic expression of the plant. And today we have Casey O'Neill with us from Happy Day Farms. Hey, Casey.
Fun.
Hello there.
So yeah, let's start at the top. This term, terroir, again, I've been hearing it for just pretty recently now. The last
Look at
couple
those
of seasons.
cannabis plants.
Where did this word come from, and what does it mean?
So terroir is an old French word that describes
What the fuck was that? You guys, what was that?
So terroir is an old French.
And what does it mean?
What is that?
Terroir,
where did this word come from? And what
is that a cat?
Does it mean?
Okay.
So terroir is an old French word that describes
We're gonna let
all
it go.
of the aspects that go into creating a finished product. Generally, it's associated with wine. Frenchie cannoli,
Frenchie, R.I.P.
I think instrumental in sort of making this transition in discussion from terroir as a wine concept to terroir as a cannabis concept.
Right.
And I think it's an absolute fits like a glove kind of concept.
I first heard it from Frenchie myself. So what does it mean then? What is this terroir?
So for instance, in describing the terroir of this farm, Happy Day Farms, I would say that we have a south slope. We're located about 20 miles from the coast, which means that we get fairly cool nights. We have very hot days. We don't have much moisture. We are in a location in which because we're on the slope, we get these warm breezes that come caressing up the slope, and so there's a macro sort of climatic part of terroir. There's a microclimate part of terroir, right. And then there's a soil and cultivation techniques, and then genetics would
right.
Sort of what I would consider the four like overarching themes. And so for us,
what are these four overarching themes?
And so for us, the climate is it's very much a Mediterranean climate. Cool and wet in the winter and spring and late fall, but hot and dry for essentially the entire cultivation season from May onwards through.
Anytime you're on camera, you want to cheat out to the camera so we're not looking at the side of your body. I know it feels awkward for people to do that, but it looks better on camera to not see, like we don't see his face, right? So you just cheat out a little bit. You point your chest out, you face out to everybody, and you just have a conversation like that.
Through harvest.
So we have climate.
Climate is a biggie. Microclimate, what are the interplays of
and that's why they keep cutting
and
to
air
him.
movement and moisture content in the air on your
being like that would be okay if their camera, their B cam was on this guy. You know, their wide is already on this guy. So why is their close-up also on that guy? They needed someone on this guy.
Specific spot. And so, you know, climate affects the whole area, and then microclimate affects, you know, for instance, a north slope is going to have a dramatically different microclimate than a south slope.
All right.
So, and then soil is a huge one. And this is one of the things that's really being debated in the cannabis industry right now, because, for instance, if soil is purchased, what type of terroir does that create, and how does that work? Traditionally, terroir is an expression of the native soil. And that for us is a big part of, you know, of really working to utilize the native soil that we have here. It was very poor, rocky clay. It was not good to start with, and we've spent a lot of time really building it and putting compost into it. So there's the initial factor of what did you start with, and then there's the question of what'd you add to it.
Hearts on the board.
And so that, you know, the soil, you know, they say feed the soil feeds the plants, and so the soil is going to create certain genetic expressions. And so then, you know, in looking at the genetics, first of all, what are the genetics you're using? And then how do they express themselves? And so for instance, you know, most of what everything we do is seed stock. We start all our own seeds, we save our seeds. And so we've been acclimatizing these varietals to this location for the last several years. And so they are unique expressions of this time and place. And so our terroir would be, you know, a combination of this south slope with this Mediterranean climate, with this specific soil profile, with these specific genetics. And then further, there's the question, you know, so those are sort of the tangibles, and then there's the intangibles of who is doing the cultivation, what is their style of cultivation, you know, how much are you cleaning out the plants, are you pulling them, are you tying them, how are you, you know, what's your structure method.
And this is all part of the terroir.
I would say absolutely. And then also, what is the, you know, the mind state of the farmer? And this kind of goes into that question of can great cannabis be grown anywhere? And I would say the fundamental variable there is love. And it's about the love of the plant. And I think that there's a dramatically different expression that occurs when the farmer is in tune with, you know, it's this, you know, it's kind of the old hippie energetics thing where you're talking about this source of consciousness shift that's going on in the world. And, you know, from as simple as, you know, I was having a bad day, I smoked a joint, I felt a lot better. You know, it's this sort of, this ripple effect. And so when you look at it from a production perspective, I think when you lose that love, I think you lose a certain part of the quality that is, it's intangible but inestimable.
I like his weed. I smoke his weed.
Is that terroir, effectively, it's the inputs that the plant gets from the region that it's being grown in, and how the plant ultimately expresses itself genetically.
Yep.
So we've touched on all the various inputs that make up terroir. If you had to put them in an order of importance, you know, what's the most critical of these inputs to the, you know, to the end?
You know, I think I would liken it to the concept of the food pyramid, in which, you know, you're going to start with your basic climate, your slope and aspect, which way you're facing, whether it's north, south, east, west, what are the weather patterns, you know, is sort of the building block. And then next is the soil. What are you working with in terms of soil? What are its components? What have you added to it? Then your genetics, because these are going to be both an expression of sort of the proclivity of the farmer if you've been working on these genetics and building them over time, but they're also going to be an expression of what the soil is capable of producing. And then sort of on top of that is the, you know, this question of how is it grown? What is the scale, and how much attention is each plant getting from the farmer, and sort of that intangible, you know, the question of love.
Yeah, just small batch cannabis grown with love.
Absolutely. Craft connoisseur production. It's, you know, to me is extremely important. And it's this question of, as a farmer, I can only work on so many plants. And terroir is this expression of both the land, the climate, the plants, and the farmer. And so if I'm not able to provide the love and good energy to each of the plants, I think you end up with something missing.
So effectively, it's really all of these components coming together to truly create that special herb that we're all seeking.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's interesting. You know, I think there's a lot of good cannabis out there. I don't think there's very much great cannabis. And I think terroir and the expression of all of those combinations is really what has the potential to create great cannabis.
I'd have to agree with that opinion. That was fantastic, Casey. Thank you so much.
Wow.
My pleasure.
Not a lot of great cannabis. Okay, you guys, I feel like that was very. It's the forest and really outdoor. I picked up some of the woods and it was some really good buds. Yeah. The Emerald Triangle up north. Anything like Emerald Triangle is legendary. I think when I think about terroir and I think, or terroir, and I think, that's what I think of when I go in California. I really think about the Emerald Triangle, the Green Triangle, Humboldt, and it's just, they've been also cultivating for many generations. So they have different techniques and knowledge and tricks and secrets and things like that. I get why people who are cultivators get upset with me when I say things about making edibles, because they're like, hey, I've been growing for decades and this is how we make our canna butter. And I'm always just like, that's cool. I've just run lab testing on it. And like, if you're looking at how long does it take to get the cannabinoids into butter, oil, doesn't take that long. Turns out which makes sense, because if you think about where the trichomes are on the plant, they're not inside the plant, right? Like this rosin, this is not from inside the plant. It's from it's like inside the buds, yes, but on the surface, right? It's not like within the plant. It's on the surface of the plant, all over the flower, all over them. Like the trichomes, little sticky little soldiers filled with resin, right? Filled with this very potent, not at that point, but potentially potent resin. And with rosin, what they do to get it out is they squish it, right? God, this Moroccan peaches smells so good. They squish it out. And so it's kind of like olive oil. I think of it like the olive oil of cannabis, except for, the oil in olives is inside the olive. But anyway, so when you think about it that way, and you think about how hash makers make hash, it's not like this long, it's not about the amount of time that they spend stirring the hash as much as it's about temperature and how much they agitate and stir it to get the trichomes off. With cooking, we're doing other things, like when we're making canna butter, we're using warm butter to melt everything. And so stirring helps that process, helps melt everything off of the flour. And obviously if you're using concentrates, this whole conversation is moot. But if you're not, it's what I talk about in my cookbook, because I just think I know there are a lot of people who really only have access to flour, and they want to know, how long does it take to make canna butter? And I'm here to say, it doesn't take very long. It doesn't have to, and it's fun. So if you haven't gotten my cookbook, I just want to drop that link really quickly for all of you. Let me put that up. So this is the main Simon & Schuster link. Okay, so if you want to get it, don't get it from Simon & Schuster. Get it from like Barnes & Noble or whatever. And then if you want to help get me a commission, and I think that, they have a pretty good price on the Amazon book. Get my cookbook on Amazon. So here's the deal with Amazon. I know what you're thinking. But I do get a commission. So I didn't know if he was going to allow that, if Amazon would allow authors to also get a commission on their book if they're like, like if they're the author and they've got an Amazon storefront, can you get a commission? Turns out you fucking can. So when people ask me what is the way that I make the most money from my book at this point, until I start selling it myself, which I'm really only going to do that at like festivals and events, because I don't like shipping things. It's a whole thing to ship things, it's a lot to do. I need to take a boop before we go. So Amazon is actually a pretty great place to order my cookbook from, and it really helps the algorithm. If you haven't left me a review yet and you have gotten my book, please, 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 and you like it, I guess even if you don't like it, that's okay. How did this bonbon hair get in here? Try not to touch the rosin. Bonbon hair. Oh no, I cleaned it out. I was like, did I leave that in there? I always clean it out. Ready? Boop city, bitch, boop. Oops. Booped it down. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, Barnes & Noble is a cool store. Whoever you want to support. I'm just giving you the heads up on like everything with me and like how it impacts me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. There we go. And if if you just, I don't know, please leave me a review. It really helps. It really does. Helps a lot. Helps so much. Let me know if you had a good time this evening. I feel like we did. I feel like Mama's not sitting in her chair. I love all you. I'm going to roll the credits. These are all of my club members, my paid patrons from the Edibles Club. That is Bon Bon squeaking in the background. She has her toy and she's saying, "Get off your fucking mic, mommy, and take me for a walk and pay attention to me. I'm the baby." Anyway, thank you all for the super chats. Thank you for this evening. Thank you to my club members, my Edibles producers, Madam Dram, Lindsay Gabriel, Chris Core, Nina Berries, Miranda, Eddie Moretti, and all of my club members, my Quarter Up members, my Bounce for Ounce members, my High Five, my pre-roll members. If you haven't joined the Edibles Club, the link is still tagged in the top. You can join. You can see your name here. I'll put your name in here. That's what I do. I'm very good at it. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Remember who you are.